Hello, 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 y'all. It is Elsa 932 on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. We are here to wrap it up, put a bow on it, ship it back to sender. We are here for the finale of Married at First Sight Austin season 19. Okay. We did the final episode where we had the decisions. And if you don't know the decisions, I do have them in shorts in my short section. And we are also here to find out who together and who not. Okay. Because the decision day and finale, yeah, we have questions. I'm demanding answers of Austin. Trey is demanding answers of Married at First Sight team, but we are going to get there. Y'all, please make sure if you can before we get into this, because I have some heated words for some people. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe now before you decide not to by the time you hear where my heat lies. Um, and for those who are members or who wish to join our watch parties tomorrow at 8 o'clock, I just set up a live. I will be helping you navigate to set up. So when I do have live watch parties, we can watch them together. Okay, it's going to mainly be for members, mostly for members. But every now and again, I'll do a live watch party for everyone where you don't have to be filtered. Okay, and you don't have to watch what you have to say. You're not going to be edited. Okay? Okay. Trey, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Okay, ready to get into it. I hope everybody's had a good day and a prosperous afternoon. And let's have a good time together. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I know some big words. You get a little surprised. Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Wait a minute. I did not say I was surprised by your big words. Okay. I was like, okay, wait a minute. I was thinking you were going to say prosperous new year. I said, wait a minute. Thanksgiving is just next
Not
week.
yet. Not yet. We'll get to that. The New Year's coming, but we got to get to my favorite holiday, which is Thanksgiving. Even though it has gotten less and less shine every year. I don't like it, but that's a whole.
For me, it's
subject.
less and less mouths to feed because my boys are going to other people's houses to eat. So I don't have to. Okay.
Gotta go meet the parents on Thanksgiving, huh? Woo!
No, not that kind. They're
Oh,
going to their I think their aunts and uncle's house or their daddy house. Whatever it is, it's not at my house.
oh, okay.
Not at my house. So I don't have to cook. I'll probably may make some Thai food. But hey,
Wait a minute. What about Mr. Elsie? He can't get a little turkey. You know what I'm saying? He can get a little dressing.
he's not on that. He's not into
What?
commercialized holidays. No.
Wait, what's commercialized about that? This is about food. We all love
And,
food here. Now.
and you are forced to buy a turkey. So Mr. Elsid is not about that.
You don't have to buy a turkey. Buy whatever you want. I
If
did
Mr. El,
oxtails last year.
if it was up to Mr. El Cid, there will be no standardized holidays. Okay.
Mm. Just make us some oxtails. It'd be okay.
He ain't eating that.
What? You don't like oxtails? What's going on?
Hey. Well, you know what it is. It's not that he won't eat it right now. He's on a juicing kick. He's on his health kick. Okay. He's on a health kick. So he's juicing what has been grown in the yard. And the season is changing. Except if y'all see me glowing, Atlanta is like heating up. Okay, Atlanta is 75 degrees at the end of November. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's a little warm. Well, you know what? No, you know what? Cows and bulls, they grow in yards. So he could juice up some, juice up some tails. Juice it up. Yeah.
No, that's not happening. That's not happening. Okay, not at all happening. But no,
if you can
I'm
have chicken
telling
for 1
you,
piece,
not even his
you can.
birthday. I'm telling you, not even his
Oh,
birthday. He's one of
okay.
those. He's a
Yeah.
will.
Okay. Oh, wow. So is that's why you said, "Oh, Brittany, you just doing it all wrong, girl." I could tell you. Let me tell you how to do it. Oh my God, I see it. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense. Wow. Hmm. Hmm.
That was just me. In case he's watching, listening.
Hold on. I just saw something disturbing. Samantha. Samantha. Pumpkin pie. I'm flabbergasted. Samantha. Oh, oh my God.
Don't make me resurrect Bernie Mac's joke about pumpkin pie.
Woo. Let me. Woo. Okay, I gotta calm myself. Let me get. Woo. You know what? We're gonna let that go in the interest of of this live. We're
Public
talking about man
safety.
at first sight. Yeah,
Public safety.
public safety. That's it. Yeah, that's beautiful. Public safety. Man.
Y'all, if y'all are not following Trey does food. He cooks and he plates it and posts it on Instagram. That's why food, is has a special place with him.
Yeah, we like food. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So let's start because other people who prefer pumpkin pie are rising up, and I don't want you to be derailed. Okay, so
Oh Jesus Christ! I'm gonna
Trey,
start praying.
where would you like to start today?
Well, you know what? Let's start where the show started. Let's talk about Josh and Jalen.
Okay, Josh and Jalen, y'all on decision day, and y'all will hear an echo with every couple. Okay, they both decided to say yes. And by reunion, they both needed a divorce. They were together for a year, and I believe she said 3 months or 8 months. And in that time, Jalen did go to Burning Man. Okay, she did go into the wild of the desert with this man. And she did go doing all sort of adventures with him. Yet he says she's still at an adventure number 2, and he's at an adventure number 10. And folks have been sending Jalen the videos of him schmoozing and necking with other women in the club. Okay. So Josh apparently told her one night that after she was belligerent, a woman, was walking towards them like she knew Josh, and when she saw Jalen, she turned around, and Jalen went off and asked if he is screwing the woman, but she used profanity. He didn't like that and told her it's time for her to go. Pack up and go right now at midnight. Okay? Now, the other thing Josh lied about, but he said he didn't really lie. He told Jalen that his new personal assistant is in her 40s when it was a young lady in her 20s. Now, Josh, the only thing I'm going to say is we used to you lying about the little things. So now it's hard to come back and let us believe you the truth. But what I did not hear is what Jalen liked to do that Josh was open to doing. What were your thoughts, Trey?
I have to start off by saying first and foremost, what I'm about to say, it does color how I feel about these 2 episodes and all of the couples involved. So it is within this color range. I am not a fan of the new format, or at least not all of it. I'm actually I might be okay with the drops, the multiple drops. Okay, I'm fine with it, but it should have been more episodes because you definitely had the footage for it. You definitely had the footage for it. And man, this might be a personal thing. You should never have your finale and reunion drop at the same time. Because everything you tried to build up show wise in your finality, you destroyed it in the reunion. And you got people out here asking, like, well, what was all this for then?
Preach.
And all,
Reunion should have been next week.
yes, it should have been this week. You're supposed to have people guessing and coming back. Okay, let's find out what happened, blah, blah, blah. Not this. Because the first day, we seen it all cost YouTube and everybody else. But what was all this for? And now it's feeding into the other narratives. Wait, what I've been saying for weeks now, production got their hand in all of this. Everything's curated. None of it's true. What are we supposed to believe? So all this is a lie. But it's for entertainment. So that's why I pulled back on it. I let it happen. Whatever. I was entertained. I laughed at some things. But don't tell me I'm supposed to take it seriously. Because when you don't take it seriously, how am I supposed to take it seriously? Just saying. But Josh and Jalen. You know, I think we was talking about this last week, and I said both of them are going to be a yes. I definitely was. I said Josh was going to be yes. I was iffy on Jalen for good reason, because she probably should have been a no. She probably should have been a no. But I could see her saying yes to all of this. From what we saw, from what they decided to show us in this season, it only made me wonder even more. And I'm going to just talk specifically about Jalen. Why did you say yes again? I don't understand why. Because if you really look at it, we never actually covered some serious issues that was popping up with them. We stayed on the fluff, which was Burning Man. Which was, I don't care where you say it, it's really not an argument. It is an argument, but it's not an argument. I'll get back to that later when we talk about the part of the reunion. Because even though he was diabolical, I do understand. After thinking about it, I finally understand what he was actually trying to say, and I know exactly what turned him off from Jalen. I know, and it happened at Burning Man because of something she said and did, and then something he spoke to. I said, okay, I see what it was. I see what happened. Was it a good reasoning for him? Probably. For the relationship, nah, that was kind of petty, bro. You should have had a conversation with her.
Just speak on it, Trey. Don't be holding your cards to your chest.
The moment it was telling when they tried to give that dumbass analogy about, oh, she's a 2 and I'm a 10. I'm like, okay, what the heck? But then it clicked. It clicked. Number one. When she said she went there, I went, I did all the things, this, that, and third. I was like, I was with her. I was like, yeah, man, she's bending for no reason. She probably shouldn't have been. But she's bending to try to accommodate you and experience this. And they showed the footage. You look like you having a good time. But then I looked again. I went, oh, I see what the problem is. First of all, you didn't want to go. And I'm going to tell you right now, during that whole time, it was an act, and he could tell it was an act. She didn't want to go. She didn't want to be there. Her attitude reflected that. She was just doing it to be accommodating. Now, in one hand, it's good. I get what, you're willing to put aside some things, doing something you probably shouldn't have been doing because you didn't want to do it in the first place, to show support for your husband. Get it. Here's where the flip side of the problem comes in, and we've all experienced this. A person comes to you to something that you're really excited for, that you have excitement for, but you can tell they don't have it. Their energy brings down the whole situation. You don't even want to be there yourself now. And that was Jalen, unfortunately. And then on top of that, let's keep it real. Let's keep it all the way real. The more he got to know Jalen, the more he realized how boring she actually is. Because we said this in the beginning of the season. Jalen comes off a little bit boring. This was said. First couple episodes. Jalen's a little boring. But Josh, throw this whole dude away. Like, bro, throw him away. He shouldn't be seen in public with anyone ever again. He really shouldn't. Like, bro. Because the way he conducted himself was jacked up. Like, bro, that's not a man. That's a little boy still trying to act like a man. He's still that lost little boy that he's trying to run away from. So you knew you was having issues with Jalen. You should have spoke up and spoke to those issues. You didn't. You waited until you had in your mind, a good enough excuse for you to run up out of there. And that's what he did. He ran up out of there and, tried to find somebody new. Impulsive buying. And basically wanted to blame that on her. I must be bored because I'm buying trucks and jet skis and all kind of mess. Like what? Really, dude? Seriously? Okay.
Notice he was buying himself stuff.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's his MO. Actually, he kind of said that in the first 3 episodes we met him in. That he was an impulsive buyer. He said that. So I'm like, okay, interesting.
But Trey, you wanted me to go to Burning Man. Okay? I went. That does not, entitle you to my excitement. I don't have to like it, but I went.
I get you, and for most people, I'm on that same wave too. Because I've been to plenty of places with girlfriends that I did not like, but I went because that was her interest. And if I'm having interest in her, then I need to support. Right, right. Now here's the kicker. This is what I had to learn because I've been through this. That's why I'm talking about it. So I've been through this. Oh, but you're not. You acting like you don't act excited. You're not acting like you want to be here. Your energy is off. I'm like, I'm here though. Nah, I mean, it's throwing me off. I don't like it. That's why I recognized it. I said, I probably, if I knew, put it like this, I had to learn that I do have to control my level or end level of excitement, whatever. If I'm going to show support for you, I at least need to put my emotional mindset in the fact that you're happy. So that's going to bring me a little bit of happiness, even if I don't like the place we'll be at. I'd be thinking in my head, why am I here? I don't want to be here. No, I can't show you that because you're going to take it a certain type of way. It's the truth. We don't like to admit this at times as people, but sometimes it's one thing. Yes, you're going to a place, you're trying to support someone in their interests or whatever. But this couple has shown you, okay, what happens when you really don't have an interest in their interests? Are you going to go anywhere and possibly ruin the interest by your energy being off and bringing them down? It's a question. Or should you not go?
You cannot control my emotion. You cannot control my
You're right.
reaction. But I done
Yeah,
told you several times I ain't about the Burning Man.
and that's why she shouldn't have went.
But I told he pressured her.
And
So
he shouldn't have done that.
the attitude you get is the one you have cultivated. Okay?
He should. This is one of those situations where the moment he found out that their interests did not align, it probably should have ended there. Because for real, if this was real life and they actually met each other, and he found out that she wasn't in that stuff or whatever, he probably wouldn't have called her back the next day. Just to keep it real.
Or he just would have done a hit it and quit it.
Yes, real quick. But they're in a situation where no, we're married, we're together, so we have to cultivate some type of relationship here. That's why he was such a stickler on it.
But there are tons of married people who do not share the same things.
True.
So again,
I don't have a problem with having different interests from my girlfriend or my wife. Never had issue with it. But this situation has proven everyone doesn't think that way. Everyone doesn't think like us.
Then you need to find somebody at Burning Man.
Exactly. Probably so. All the guys on the truth? Probably so. Or find someone who has similar thought processes and interests as well.
Here's where I thought you were going to go with it, okay? Here's where I thought you were going to go with it. And yes, I applaud Jalen for being there for 10 whole days. I applaud her for being there for 10 whole days in that desert. But when she said we were mainly by ourselves, Josh, did you tell your people not to come around? Or did Jalen's attitude push people away? Trey?
Yes.
Did Jalen You were for a little bit. Did Jalen push people away? Is that why they were mostly by
Uh,
themselves?
I, this goes back to what I just said. Jaylen's personality, she could come. I can see how she can come off very boring, or that you might not want to hang around her for a steady period of time. She does not give fun girl vibes. We can hang out. She just does it. So I'm like, yeah, I can see a situation where people might come around her and her energy is off. And they're like, nah, I don't want to hang around. Nah, they could probably be by themselves. Yes,
But again,
yes.
my energy off because I'm catching you, as Nosy Nurse said, I'm catching you in more lies.
Now, when was the timeline of that though? This is another thing. We don't know the timeline and all this stuff here that's going on. It seemed like Burning Man was before. That's what it seems like.
It seems like
They
it.
did, and then she kept going to festivals afterwards, and then they had a whole run-in with the girl issue. Which, let's keep it real, she probably should have asked the question, but in the manner that she asked the question, I would have left too. I'm like, nah, I ain't dealing with you. What are you talking about? Because now you have to. Because not gonna lie, it did look bad. Like, bro, who is this chick? Why is she all of a sudden been in the corner when you come around and you standing with me? She straight up bent the corner. If nothing was going on, honestly, if something was going on with them or used to go on with them, people just don't bend the corner like that. Like, I'ma still walk up and be like, hey, I ain't seen you, man. What's going on? I ain't trying to hug you up, feel you up, and I'm like, hey, it's been a minute. Okay, cool. Oh, this your new wife. Congratulations. That's how it go. I'm bending the corner when I see you. Nah, that looks bad. It looks
Real
bad. Like,
suspicious.
yeah.
Suspicious. I wish
So
I need to get that meme.
I understand her. Yeah, that's a good meme. I understand her asking the question like, "Hey, what was that? What's going on?" But then you gonna change to "I'm fucking you fucking her." See, Jalen had, excuse my language, people. Jalen has another side that she doesn't show all too often. That I think Josh was catching on a daily basis,
Tick tick
and
boom.
it wasn't cute. Yes, it wasn't cute. Jalen is actually very messy. And we actually seen signs of her messiness all through this season. In other people's relationships, really. We've
Oh, there's
seen
one.
this.
There's one. There's one place I know she messy. Okay. Remember at the
Yeah,
retreat at the game,
yeah.
you have to pick whoever you're going to ask this question to, and she
And
picked
purposely.
Megan purposely,
Purposely.
and they said, "Who do you think has had more, romantic partners? Who done slept with more people?"
That was
And
crazy.
Megan immediately said, "You, Jalen."
That wow. That was shady. That was kind of shady. That was kind of shady, wasn't it? That was kind of shady.
And Jalen lost that one. So we have seen her be messy, okay?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Josh, here's the thing. I think, to humanize Josh a little bit, because we know what is curated isn't always who the person is. When Josh said he would go off on adventures on his own on a daily basis as a child, I still think that Josh finds a lot more comfort by himself. I think that's what's going on with him.
That that probably too, but Josh, he mm, not when it comes to him seeking companionship or relationship or any type of tie like that. He just wants someone to take the ride with him. Yes, honestly it could come off very selfish. He wants it. Well, you know what? Let me go ahead and say it. Josh is no different from most people, especially these days. Everyone wants things their way or the highway. No in between. And you've seen a lot more of that. More and more and more.
But
You
to
know,
put her out at midnight, Trey,
that was crazy. Like they told her to pack her ish and get the heck out. That was crazy. That was wild. That was a bit wild. Yo, Crazy thing is, she kind of lied. She complied. She did it. So it was like, okay, what, like, what we talking about here?
And then for me, it was the crying to say that he broke up with me on vacation. And, then, and he's like, first of all, it didn't. And those tears dried up real quick and she was ready to rumble.
That happened a few times with these ladies. I'm sorry, ladies. Y'all better catch some smoke this evening. This happened a few times. All these fake tears. Okay, there was a lot of fake tears going on, and then it dried up the very next minute. Nah, y'all trying to. I see what's going on here. Well, this is just all about other soapbox thing. We have another kinetic production where here we are at another reunion. They're gonna do their best to make the ladies look as good as possible. We're gonna trash the men at the same time, even though we've been watching y'all all daggone season doing diabolical things. Everyone.
This is why I need a petition to bring back the after show. Where is Keisha Knight
Yeah,
Pulliam?
we really. You know what? It not those after shows really put in a lot of context that we're missing. A lot of content.
She would have snatched Josh up. She would have snatched Will up. She would have snatched everybody up.
She would try, yeah.
Or she would have asked the questions we wanted to ask.
Yeah, she just would have asked part of the question.
If there's one thing, could we have an after show after you drop? Like, if you're going to do 4 weeks of dropping, have an after show for the drops.
Yeah.
Or extend the episode to 30 minutes and do an after show after each episode. I would appreciate that. Thank you kindly.
And what's up with this is going to be an ongoing thing, this live? What's up with you hanging on to footage and then trying to call it behind the scenes? There ain't no behind the scenes. That's not behind the scenes footage.
No.
We knew they had cam, especially we've been asked for the house cam footages for seasons now. Because honestly, those tell the stories a whole lot better, but it may not be the story that they want to tell.
Right.
That's the key part on all of this. It's not the story that production wants to tell. We're going to get into productions, especially when we talk about, one of the older couples, because I saw what was going on there. I was like, nah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nah, I see what's going on here.
But is there anything else with Jalen and Josh? Because, I'm Joshed out.
The only thing I will say, even though I see the wrongness in it, I'm not even trying to give him bail. I do understand why Josh said to her friends, I'd rather you not show her that photo. I do get why. Because by that time, we have broken up. By the time that photo was taken, they had been broken up. It's over with. Why are you running to go show her this when you know it ain't going to do nothing but make her upset?
Because you done bounce back real quick. That's why. Don't tell me what I can and cannot share with my friend. That's what makes it more suspicious.
Well, yeah, it can make it suspicious to how long has that been going on. But from what I understood, that photo was like a few weeks prior to the reunion. That was recent, and they have been broken up they only been broken up for months at that point in time. So it's like,
then why care?
That's for everybody, because Jalen certainly cared too.
And how about this? Josh is looking for a good edit because he done let Chad get under the bus and rolled over.
First of all, they backed up with the beep, 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 and hit him a couple times.
Yeah. Josh decided he is not going to corroborate the story that Chad said.
I call all the lies. I was like,
oh, yes. Yes. Because Josh don't want that real footage for production to put it out there, so he ain't gonna say nothing about production.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So are we moving on to them?
Oh yeah, we can. Belinda and Chad, y'all. It's gonna be a running theme. So they both decide to say yes on decision day, which I was gagged and aghast. I did not think that they would be a yes on decision day. And we also got a montage of, everyone. But what struck Chad is that dog in the bed giving him some good hind leg gut kicks. I would have been not in the bed too. Okay, I would have been not in the bed too. But we did get behind the scene footage, a lot of Belinda and Chad. So what happened? They said yes. They both said yes. They're going to work on it. Here's the thing: on decision day, Chad said yes, but then he brought her flowers and kneeled before her and asked her would she continue with him. So either two things: either that's very romantic or that's very manipulative. Chad, okay, I'm watching you. What woman gonna say no with you kneeling down in front of her? But anyway, I might have been that such woman. But anyway, I'm savage. Then we find out that they were supposed to move in together, and when they did get together, that the kitty cat that Chad has, her dog was curious about. Chad was anxious when the cat climbed him. His own cat climbed him, and he was anxious. Dug her claws into him, and the Belinda's dog came at him. Okay, to be curious at the cat. He yelled at the dog. Belinda said, "Oh hell no," and she took her stuff and left the same day. She didn't move in with him. Then later on at a cookout with everybody, he tells the men what happened, and he don't want to talk about this in front of production. Now here's where I knew, Belinda, you should have been a no because you don't like this man. Chad said, "I'd rather not talk about it." And Belinda said, "Well, you don't want to talk about it, but here you go. Okay, I'm gonna lay it all out there." So again, it's about his production and what he was anxious about and so forth. So they did not move in together. Belinda, I'm sorry, that dog needs some home training. I'm sorry, the dog needs home training because there's no way a dog is up in the bed with his peas and carrots in my husband's face and gut kicking him. That is not going to be happening. Okay, so they are not together. Chad, we did find out he is drinking the whiskey every night, falling asleep with a glass in his hand that she has to remove while he is on the couch. He's also not sleeping well. Chad, you need to go see a lady. You need to go live at her house for a little bit to get that handled. Okay? But Belinda, I see it. I see and understand why things sometimes don't work out with Belinda. So these two together and separately are a problem. What were your thoughts, Trey?
You hit the nail on the head. They're all a problem in their own way. Now, I have to say, it was at this point when I saw Belinda said yes, I was like, wait, what's going on here? Because I expected Chad to say yes, okay? But when Belinda said yes, this is when my mind clicked. I went, oh, that's right. They're on a new network. It's going to be all 5 yeses. And I knew it then. As soon as that happened, I went, because it made no sense to me. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot. New network. They got to have 5 success stories. Even though they blew it by having these 2 drops together. They blew it big time. But they was pushing so hard to make sure that everyone said yes. Everyone. So they, like I said, setup. Everything was a setup. Now let's just really get into it here. All right. I'm not particularly a fan of either one of them, to be God's honest truth. But as this season went along, I was less of a fan of Belinda's as it kept going. Okay. Because Belinda, in my eyes, turned out to be a production puppet. That's exactly what she is. She's a production puppet. I'm going to say something that's probably not going to be nice, but it's on my heart and spirit to say it. She got out of one marriage of feeling like a puppet and feeling nothing to be used by a group of people to be treated like a puppet. Sad. Very sad. Okay. Let's get, you know what? You want to know how I know Chad? I saw this earlier. I'm going to point it out. You want to know how I know Chad wasn't lying? Because they proved it when they showed the footage at that little cookout scene when Belinda and her daughter did try to gang up on Chad. Yes, he was attacked in that moment. They wanted to fight, and they wanted to fight on camera. It was all there. I'm not blind. Don't tell me. Don't tell me the sky ain't blue when I can look up clear to see this blue. Okay, nah. They was actually Jalen was the one that was trying to push that fight along. I was like, what's going on here? Y'all know y'all already over. Chad explained it to the fellas. Yeah, this will happen. It is what it is. Oh, put a little bit of context. The dog approached him first with the cat in his hand. Then the cat panicked and digged his claws in his chest. So the dog approached first. And yes, that dog needs training. No, Belinda, I'm sorry. Your dog needs training. Okay? You have no control. You are the pet. Sorry. You're the pet. No, it wasn't a conversation.
Hold on, Trey.
Okay, you got it.
I'm with you with that, with the 2-on-1. I felt when I saw that and I was looking back at stuff, I felt like they really wanted Chad to blow his top on camera.
Yes.
And when Chad wouldn't do it, and I'm not saying production intentionally, but we know Chad got a tick boom on him. Okay. And he was not going to do it on camera. And I felt it was push. And that night, amongst everybody, it was the time to get Chad to lose it. And all he lost it was, F all of y'all. I'm leaving. Get this. That was all they got. And I felt like they were pushing him because they knew he was pissed. They knew he just had the anxiety with the cat, with the dog, everything. But yes, it could be a conversation, but I felt like they were goading him to fight.
Yes, they were. They knew from the beginning of this season that Chad is easy to prod. So when you have a person who is easy to prod, you're going to put them in situations where you're going to prod them to get a reaction. Okay? And hold on. Go back to that. We got to talk about that statement. I'm sorry to go to Africa, but you kind of proving myself right here. When have we ever, and he could be, but when have we ever heard Chad say anything racist? And see what type of labeling you're trying to put on him? And call him a drunk. When have we, outside of that one time when everyone was drinking at the little house party, when have we ever seen Chad drunk? Outside of the fact we saw everybody drinking. And please, you better miss me with just because he want to have a drink or two every daggone night. That's his business. If he wants to.
Well, he was drunk. He was drunk. Going to the house. Remember, he was dancing in the hallway. That was drunk.
That's
Chad.
what I'm talking about. But he was coming from the house party. Remember the house get together, whatever. That somebody was having. They got invited over. Everybody was drinking. Well, you can't say that now because he done slimmed down. He's Slim Chad now these days. So what else you got?
Chad.
Yeah, have you seen recent photos of him? He's Slim Chad. He's Slim
I
Chad.
Can't believe you. I can't believe you're putting a revenge bod on Chad. Come on now.
Y'all putting a revenge bod on old girl, so why not? Chad said, you know what? I saw myself. I didn't do something about it. So guess what? He's like, I'm gonna lose this weight.
Now, what I did not agree with is I wish the host, and I always forget Kevin, I wish the host checked Chad. Because when Chad told him, and I'm wondering, here's the thing. When Chad told him, if you want to hear my answer, then shut the hell up. I'm not a proponent of telling somebody shut up at all.
I was like, oh.
And I'm like, how did Kevin Frazier not check him? Because what you're not going to do on my show is talk to me like that. I'm wondering if this was a clip, a snippet that they did where Chad is saying production keep pushing me to talk a certain way, to talk and say, they keep feeding me lines. And I'm telling them, either y'all need to shut the hell up so I could say what I want to say rather than it be directed at Kevin Frazier. Because I thought that was a height of disrespect.
What they did, They did in that moment, because at first I thought when they showed that preview clip, I thought he was talking to Kevin. But when you look
But
at the
even in the
context of
moment, it sounded like he was talking to Kevin.
well, Belinda was talking, and then Kevin chimed in. It seemed like, okay, I'm talking to everybody. But the way they played it, yeah, there was a lot of cutting, diving in the video. But also, do you remember they actually played the clip, of behind the scenes clip of him telling production, "Hey, we're having a conversation. Let it happen naturally. You don't need to tell me what to say and do." So that happened. So that means, if I'm hearing this correctly, they're all trying to feed them lines to say and
But
to
also,
react.
here's the thing. Here's my thing on production. Chad seemed like he long-winded and take forever to get to a point.
Probably so.
Okay,
He's a talker.
so we ain't got all the footage. We ain't got enough camera. We ain't got enough film in the daggone reel. I know y'all there digitally video. Please don't. We ain't got enough film in the reel to be sitting on here for 2-3 hours just for you to get 2-3 lines out, Chad. So we need this done right now.
Oh, but they got enough reel to push their own lines to curate a storyline.
Well, this is what
16
we
hours
need.
per day.
We need to hear you say these words so we can splice and dice it later.
See, this is why I would never do a show like this. Because, yeah, I would be a Chad, but I wouldn't be Chad. I'll just shut down on you. I'll look at you like you're stupid. Like, huh? Okay.
But Belinda been throwing him under the bus, and that I did not like. When he said, "I'd rather not talk about it," I thought at least respect it in that moment. But when she decide it's your business, it is your business, but I'm going to tell it anyway, even though you don't want to tell it, I was like, that's a little disrespectful.
Yeah. But she's been doing that all season, though.
But you know what? I know the whole, Chad said he spoke to Josh in the show, but then Chad say, he don't remember. It's been a year and a half. Okay, a year and a half of whiskey every night. I don't care what you say, Trey.
Nah. You saw, come on now. Did you catch that? They can't have, even though people not stupid. They know productions. It's a produced show, for God's sakes. It's a produced show. That means they're gonna have their hands in all what's going on. All of a sudden, here come Kevin, which Kevin's cool, but I've never been a big fan of his because
me neither.
From way back in the day, before this show, him by himself issues. But you mean to tell me all of a sudden he prompts the question for production and how to get involved. All of a sudden, Chad gets amnesia about I don't know if I talked to Josh or not. Okay, yeah, I don't know if it was a text message or a talk to. Then all of a sudden, Josh, this whole episode, he was just be honest, he was kind of emotional with some of his answers and how he was giving it. All of a sudden, he turned into a straight back robot answer. Straight back robot answer. Oh, production was never involved in that. I don't remember this text message. So just, I've already had good things with production, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay. I see what's going on here. I see what the assignments are. I see what it is. Okay.
Josh said, please don't show my extra footage.
That, and I'm quite sure they reminded them of the contracts after the fact. Yeah. Some people got some talking to. I can guarantee you it. Some people got some talking to. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Nah. Well, yes, there is. Of course there is. For that reason, what we're doing now. You have a perception. I'm going to go on teacher mode for a second, Miss Toya C. Toya,
yes, Toya C. Yes,
Toya C. You're on a show. You could probably be a very nice lady. You probably are, but now you're on a show, and we have edited footage of you that we can splice and put together, make you look a certain type of way to the masses. Now, look at how we're responding to you. Yes. Sometimes there is a need to lie when the show is over. when you know that they can put certain things out about you and make it and shape the narrative in a certain way to make you look any way they want you to. Okay, it happens. It's happened before. It's going to happen again.
Now to go to Africa, even though Chad has been well informed about the show, what to expect, it's something different when you're in it.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
something different when you have to do it day to day. Really, really different. I will give him that. How he reacts to it, not cool. But again, as Rosho said, Josh is a proven liar. Why are we taking
Yes,
anything he's saying?
exactly. That on top of that, small lies at that. So I'm like, what are we talking about? Yes, Chad has been drinking. I'm gonna say it. If I was a Belinda, I'd probably be drinking every night too. This dog getting
Ooh,
on my nerves. This dog getting on my nerves. You ain't doing nothing about it. I got issues with these people trying to tell me what to say to you. The only piece I'm getting is me sitting on this couch watching TV. You know what I'm saying? Let me have my drink so I can go to sleep.
here's my thing. Why didn't we see footage of him falling asleep with the glass in his hand?
And
That
they
would have been
definitely got it.
beautiful.
Because they definitely got it. Because it was happening in the shared apartment where the footage is right there on the camera.
Why
So
didn't
let's
we
keep
see
it
that?
real. They could have
Production.
easily showed that. Easily.
That's
So
what I
what's
want to
up?
see. I want to see Belinda lift the glass up while he leans to the
Yeah.
side on the
And you
couch
just say
and put
goodnight.
it there.
If you notice when she said that, Chad looked up like, what? What you what? What you talking about? But he just like, you know what? Don't say nothing, just keep it moving. Nah. I'm telling you, listen, this is why I said, you know what? And this all of this really started after the Woody and Amani season. Remember that
Yes.
season?
Yes. New
It was
Orleans.
it was during the pandemic, but even before then, there was a conscious effort of trying to put couples together, right? But that season in particular, production had less of a hand. Even the experts had a less of a hand in putting the couples together. The couples really had to figure out themselves because people
Yes.
couldn't be near each other. So they had
It
to
was COVID.
rely on the apartment footage a lot more. So these couples literally had to deal and talk to each other every day by themselves. Not with some woman, another camera sitting in the room with you. Hey, how about you talk about this with this people? Yeah, totally different. Ever since then, they've been exerting more and more control. And it's starting to tell. Hey, excuses, facts, however you want to see it. All I'm telling you is what I am saying, you cannot dismiss. Just like I can't dismiss your point either.
But
You know?
apart from that fact, that dog gut punching him, I would have a problem with the dog in the bed. I would have when we saw the montage of what it is, I understand why he on the couch. It's not gonna work out.
Yeah. And
It's not gonna work out.
I will say on a serious note, because like I said, I don't take all this seriously. I really don't, because I can't take them seriously. It's just a produced show. What we've seen probably ain't really ain't the real people. It's just the caricature that was produced for them. So that's all I'm reacting to. The caricature.
Well, here's good. You should say that because if you go to the IG, I'm sorry, Belinda's trying to be an influencer.
Trying to, yeah.
She's trying to be an influencer. She's trying to sell some books. She is.
Yes.
The show is a stepping stone.
I will say that I do think Chad does need to probably seek some help because I do think he has a little bit of PTSD. I do see it. Because there's other things, his triggers, whatever, that was concerned. All his anxieties, yes, I can see that. Probably need some help.
Definitely need some help.
And stop putting 10 on 2. They're in the 5th marriage. It's his 4th marriage. Okay?
This is his 4th. The next one will be his 5th trade. That's what she's saying.
I don't think
he don't need another marriage.
The way he's talking, he ain't going to get another marriage. He's like, this is it. I'm done. Stay single, bro. It's so much peacefuler. You know? Stay single.
But she said she wanted to have, she would initiate with Chad and she's telling him, come on over and see me sometime. She's initiating, she's not an initiator, and she'd initiate with him. But then Chad was like, well, she initiated and want me to come into bed, but the dog is there.
I'm going to say something. Actually, this may be the night of confrontations. Okay, since this is our word, I'm going to say something very confrontational. Um, most women don't know how to initiate with men successfully. They don't. You know, some do. Some are good at it. They had to learn to do so. But most women are in the situation where they never really had to learn to do so. So, well, I gotta be
Trey,
careful about it. It is
Trey,
what it
are you
is.
saying some ladies don't know how to use their feminine wiles?
Some, you know what? Some I give a little bit of bail. Some do know how to use their feminine wiles up to a point.
But not up to his point.
I see what you did there. I like it. I see what you did there. We're being diabolical tonight. Woo. I said some to Stephen. I said some. Some do. But when you actually talk to women and get out here and they talk about this, I mean, Belinda kind of said that she's not the only woman that feels like this. I am not an initiator. Her way of initiating is asking him to come to bed. I'll be honest with you, it's not really sexy. Now, if you let me know that's your signal, that's your particular signal, whatnot, I'm like, oh, okay, I get what you're saying there. But let's be honest, you telling me, well, I just want you to come to bed with me. What does that really mean? You could be saying, I want you to come to bed and go to sleep, or you want to cuddle, or you want to do that. That doesn't mean actually physical. It just depends. Yes, you know what? No, most women are not taught to initiate with men. We know this. This is nothing
Because
new.
Trey, we're taught that if we're too forward, we're fast, and the man will think about us in a certain light.
It depends on how you do it. Because ladies, I'm be honest with you, you better be careful with these fast men too. Men are hoes. All right, stop messing with the hoes.
And it can start with the cuddling. It can start with the cuddling.
It could start. Key word. It could start. A lot of times it don't. Don't be for real, for real. A lot of times it don't. Sometimes a woman just want to be held. Ain't that the truth? That's what I heard before.
I put a certain word after what you said. I put the word down after what you said. So that's why I kept quiet.
Held up. You just want to be held. But no, I'm trying to get it in with you. I can hold you afterwards. How about that? Like, come on.
Well, here's the thing. You need to prepare. You need to prepare the ambiance, or you need to prepare the area in which you want him to, oblige you. Preparing it in Belinda's case means the dog needs to go to the second bedroom. Okay.
Yes,
You can
true.
certainly wear something to entice your husband to come to bed. Maybe, and I'm going to be joking about this. Maybe even, dip your finger in his whiskey glass and put it behind your neck, since that is his preferred smell.
Listen,
he gonna come for a little drink of that whiskey. Okay.
Listen, she could have waited till he's down to the last drop and dip her finger or pour it a little bit on her chest, whatever. Now come get the rest of it. Woo! What? Getting up. I'm getting up. How you sit? Listen, I'm giving tips here. Elsa just gave you a tip there. Y'all better be writing this down.
And that's probably anyway. I'll leave that alone. Let me.
To go to Africa. Yes, she said she made attempts. We are saying that her attempts were too coded to be
Yeah,
attempts.
he may not have
They were.
understood it was an attempt
Yes.
for intimacy. She may
You
just
just
say, "Come
saying.
to bed."
You just saying come to bed. I remember her saying that early in this season.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
yeah.
she just want to go to sleep together. She want y'all to fall asleep together. That's exactly how I took it. I didn't know that she meant that, like, oh, she wanted to have some physical, intimacy going on. It doesn't mean that. It just means come to bed. It just means come to bed. Hey, I pick my girl, I'll be like, you know what, babe, just come to bed. You've been up all night, just come to bed. Honestly, I ain't trying to get nothing going on. I'm telling you, bring you behind the bed so you can go to sleep because you got to get up in the morning. Stop being up all night. Come on to bed. Get some sleep. I'm
Or
showing
just come to bed
kindness.
early so we can get it on so you can go to sleep on time for what you got to do tomorrow.
That could be a signal. But you got to let the person know. Baby, it's 6:30 in the evening. I'm telling you, come to bed. That's a signal. Oh, okay, cool. So now when I hear you say, hey, baby, come to bed. Oh, okay, cool. You got to let them know. Just like as a man, I have to learn what your signals are, right? Usually,
Yes, he said he attempted, he would ask, but the thing is the dog in the bed is a complete turnoff.
yes,
So the dog in the bed is a turnoff for him, and for her, him drinking and falling asleep with a glass in his hand is a turnoff for her.
yeah.
So they should
She
have
said,
both been a no on decision day.
she said, get the dog out the bed. But if I touch
Yeah.
the dog and yell at the dog, get out of bed, now it's a problem. Which is why he didn't really say nothing about it. Because that's your dog. I'm sitting here complaining about the dog for weeks now. Like, hey, you might need to get some training for this dog, this, that, third, something, whatever. The dog's always on my leg. I can't sleep with the dog here. He's giving signals too, clear ones. For me, in my eye, clear signals, the dog is an issue. Why don't you do
But
something about the dog?
we saw the dog was an issue when Dr. Pia came. My thing is, Belinda, in all of this, we
Yeah,
haven't seen her acknowledge that the dog needs some training, or maybe the dog needs to go sit somewhere that isn't in everybody's face.
you
So,
cannot
yeah,
have your dog go up. Dog or cat really, well, cats really don't do this like that. Cats don't really. They can be antisocial for the most part. But you cannot have your animal, a pet, dogs mainly, going up to strangers or guests in the house, sniffing their crotches. You cannot have that. Okay? No, can't have that. That's just wrong.
well, have we exhausted them? We can move on to the next
Yeah,
couple. I'm going to pick them. There's always a connection to how I pick the couples. The next one is Chad's new employee. Okay.
that
Chad's
was
new
funny.
employee is Megan. And the only one to speak up for him throughout this whole thing is
Tell it,
Megan.
tell
And
it.
I'm looking at her side eye. Oh, you expect a good bonus, don't you, at Christmas? But we find out again, Megan during the show was expecting. They both said yes on decision day. She and Derek. They were very happy. They told the officials that they were expecting, and so they were the experts, and they were just ecstatic about it. And we had said, why are we doing this so early? Unfortunately, y'all, again, I will give this a trigger warning. Trigger warning if loss, a loss of life is an issue for you. Megan unfortunately suffered a miscarriage. Okay. Unfortunately, they both, I should say, suffered a miscarriage. And it turned their relationship, I would say, back to what it was. They were arguing a lot. They were, as she said, it wasn't a very good experience and time for the both of them. And they decided to call it quits. And then he moved out. He decided to leave. Okay. Now, what I thought was very insensitive. And Derek, I'm on your behind with this one. It was very insensitive at the reunion when Derek was saying his new woman, because they asked if they've been dating, and he'd been dating someone for 6 months. And he said his new woman is excited to be a mother. Now, at first, I was like, is she expecting? And even if she was, and when I went back and many people told me no, he said she wants to be a mother in the future. I felt it very insensitive for him to mention that, especially since we just had the discussion about the loss. No bueno at all. I was like, Derek, I'm done with you after that. That was very, very shisty. But Megan got her digs in, okay? And she said, wait a minute, but you've been on that dating app up to last month. So what we talking about, you dating someone for 6 months and you in a good standing relationship? But she tried to cover it up and say, I ain't trying to be shady. But you know what? She was being shady. Hold
I
on.
hate to be shady unless I really have to. I hate.
Yeah, you had to be shady, Megan, in that instance. Straight, what did you think about these two?
Okay, we we said last week we knew there was going to be a yes on decision day. Let's go ahead and skip it to the reunion. Uh, are we going to talk about the elephant in the room here? You want me to say it first? I mean, we can listen. I'm gonna pass the buck a little bit. Then I'm gonna take the buck. Word out on YouTube streets, what everybody's thinking, was there really a pregnancy to begin with? Not gonna lie, if you remember weeks ago, we all had questions about this pregnancy. Um, I hope, I really do hope, or either way, this is sad what I'm about to say. I am hoping that this pregnancy wasn't a production plan to bring in viewership, because either way it worked. I do remember doing the previews and how everybody was talking. You know, when they preview for the show, number one, they preview for the show, ooh, somebody's going to be pregnant. Immediately, the viewership, us, and I looked around, everyone kind of piqued their interest, because beforehand, a lot of people were falling off of maps.
Yeah.
For a while now.
Since Denver.
Yeah, especially since Denver. God, that season was ooh.
Production.
Yes, another production. That production was all in that one too. But when it was announced in the previews, oh, we could have someone who's pregnant, first time ever. I noticed the consensus is like, oh, I got to come back and watch and see what's going on. And even then, I was like, okay, I mean, yeah, it could happen, but even just logically speaking, yes, it could happen, but logically speaking, it is exactly from the time they meet up until decision day, 8 weeks. And to get a positive test, you know, with she was a certain amount of weeks pregnant when they announced it on the show, which I have a question about. Because did she say, do you remember this a few episodes back when did she say she was out of 14 weeks or 14 days? Which one was it?
I can't remember, but it was on the 36th day. I just went to my notes. It was on the 36th day of marriage when they told us that they were expecting.
And it was a couple episodes after she was talking to Derek, and she either said she was 14 weeks, or I think she misspoke and she meant 14 days.
Yeah, because they ain't together 14 weeks.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay. But it was during that time I went, something seems weird to me.
Right.
I don't know, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ma'am. No, there was nothing genuine. At first, I was feeling bad about the tears, but those tears immediately dried up when Derek started talking about why they broke up. All of a sudden, the tears was gone. So I don't know about those tears being genuine. Something it felt off to me. It felt off. But
that's why her mama asked. Her mama asked if it was a prank because she's like, y'all play too much.
Yes, I am hoping that they did not pray this pregnancy up for viewership. But I'm be honest with you, it's feeling like it. It's
Give me one
feeling
moment.
like it.
Give me one moment. Thank you so much, Ari. Ari is reminding y'all to please hit the like button. 40 people watching. Welcome y'all, whether you're in the bushes or here in the chat, getting it on with us. Please hit the like button. And as always, when anyone contributes to this channel, we like to do a thank you dance. Yes, like the birds shake and wiggle for it. Wiggle just a little bit.
Yeah. But let's get into the nitty gritty of this. Timer doesn't track for me, but let's get into the nitty gritty of this.
But you're a man, Trey.
Maybe that's it. I accept that. But let's get into the nitty gritty of this. We knew that this relationship, at least I knew that this relationship wasn't going to last. And the main reason why I knew this relationship was going to last, okay, number 1 and 2 flipped. I'm going to start with 2 first because it used to be number 1. Weeks before we found out what the pregnancy was, we knew this relationship wasn't going to last because they never actually tackled their issues that they had before. But before we found out they were pregnant, they never were resolved.
Which issues were those?
Well, let's start with some of their main arguments was, if you remember, it started during the honeymoon, which I can tell that was what was in Derek's head. It started on the honeymoon when he was asking her about, hey, I feel like I'm not, I keep asking questions about you, but I feel like you're not asking questions about me or trying to get to know me. And she immediately got defensive. It was like, I'm being attacked. I'm being attacked. No, she said, I'm being attacked. I feel attacked right now. And started to get defensive, attack, whatever. It was she was unable to have a conversation about anything, as you say, unlike. She would keep like anything hard she didn't want to talk about. She felt attacked, and that's how she always answered. And it kept happening like that every time he brought something up. Anything, even conversation with the dog. Remember in the beginning with the dog, whatever. He had some questions or issues about. Okay, wait a minute. You say we was gonna walk this dog together, or you gonna pull me along with the dog? You just got me out here taking care of this dog like by myself. You're not doing anything. What's going on with that? Big, huge argument. All of this kept happening in those first few weeks. It didn't start, even when they started talking about having kids and life planning or whatever. There was on different wavelengths with that. Always arguing about that. It wasn't until she found out that she was pregnant, which was after the 1-month anniversary, which was after the whole issue when she said, I love you. He didn't say it back. And she got in a hissy fit about that. And then he did something. Remember I said I did not agree with. He told Will that he placated her and went on ahead and said that he loved her. Because that's what she wanted to hear. Even though he said he was feeling it, he was feeling the emotions, but he just wasn't there yet. He just went on ahead and told her. So I didn't like that.
But he broke up with her over the phone, Trey.
And you know why? Because once they lost the baby, it immediately went back to all the issues that they had before that they never tackled. Because when she said all of the same, they started arguing about the same things again from the very beginning. Their personalities are just too diatribes to be in a relationship. It's just, wasn't going to work. Just wasn't going to work. So all the issues they had before, yes, immediately went back to arguing. Came right back because they was always there. They never tackled them. That's how I knew this relationship wasn't going to work. And I hate to even say this. This is terrible to say. Her mom was proven right. She said it won't last 6 months. And that's exactly when it lasted.
I thought it lasted 9 months.
Well, close to that.
Okay.
No, 9 months? Was it 9 months?
I don't know. It may not have.
No, I thought it was sooner than that. Yeah, it was close to 6 months.
Okay. Maybe. I don't have a note here for the time.
It was giving, I don't know, they didn't say exactly when they lost the child. It seemed like it happened not too soon after decision day. That's what it feels like.
Right.
'Cause
But they did
ever since
ask, would he have been a yes on decision day if she was not, expecting
never
it?
answered. He never answered.
Right.
He never answered. Which tells you, somebody said earlier, yes, if it wasn't for the baby, they would not be together. Absolutely. Believe it. That's the main reason why he was going to. He said it when they got into that wasn't really an argument. You remember when he asked her the question, and he asked the question like about decision day. He said, "Well, being that we have this baby, we know we're going to be a yes, right?" Honestly, we should have had an issue with what he said. He's telling you, if it wasn't for this baby, it wasn't going to be a yes. But then she answered with that weird statement saying, well, we don't have to be together to have a baby and all that. And everybody was like, oh, that's a weird answer. That's a weird answer. We was stuck on that. But what he said was telling. If it wasn't for this baby, nah, I wouldn't be here. The baby disappeared, unfortunately. Hopefully, that's real. And everything went back to before she got pregnant. Because, like I said, they never tackled their real issues. And some of the real issues is, let's keep it real, Megan has a mean streak. She's somewhat of a mean girl.
Yeah.
Okay? She's somewhat of a mean girl. She can be very cutting. She probably get it from my mama. But she can be very cutting and whatnot, whatever. She's probably, if we saw, remember the first couple of weeks, we were saying Derek is having a hard time with Megan here. She needs to chill out, loosen up. We kept saying this. You know what I'm saying? But we kept getting deflected by the storyline that was being cooked up. Because I'm sorry. This is so weird. You put a guy together. Look what we got going on, right? Remember when you was having this back and forth about her and she had this egg frozen? That means she really want to have a kid. You got a woman got her eggs frozen and have kids, want to have kids, and then you have Derek who wants to have a family, got to have 3. They're going to stick these 2 together. All of a sudden, we get this prego storyline. And look at some of the arguments, how it started off. How it started off seemed very real to me. Some of her issues coming out, I'm always defensive about nothing, really. Being defensive about nothing. He's just asking you a question. It wasn't even a hard question.
But here's the thing. With her being so explosive, he was able to hide behind that.
Exactly. Yeah, because she looked to be more the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Production.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because when I tell you, okay, I was like, okay, what is up with Derek? Him traveling around the world, dating around the world. I thought that Megan wasn't going to be his speed because, again,
It's a roller stone.
Right, she seems very, very bland, and he has experienced, different spices. And then I'm like, yeah, what the heck is going on here? There has to be something that's an underlying issue with Derek, and we didn't really see it.
No, because all we
saw
see
her
was Megan at the time. Because
right.
she spoke the loudest in the room. Her issues were showing out to be the loudest. And it happens like that. The same thing happened with her and another couple we're going to be talking about pretty soon.
Yes.
Same thing. It's just one person balloons more. So you're going to see the biggest balloon. You're going to see the biggest balloon.
And that's exactly what she was. She was more in the forefront. She was more, and as she said, she commiserated with Chad, saying, hey, I understand the pushing buttons and being explosive on camera. So she, commiserated with Chad on that.
I
was like, that I don't trust you, Megan. That's your boss. Okay. That's your new boss.
But if you really look at it, they did the same thing during the season. One got a bad edit, the other one didn't. They did the same exact thing.
They couldn't really give Megan such a bad edit.
They couldn't.
And then you're trying to tell me Derek is like Belinda?
Oh, look at it. Did you see some similarities?
Oh, yes, I do.
Is that okay? Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, it's looking real similar to me. You know what I'm
As
saying?
and y'all, I do watch Wilco Rehashed on YouTube, where he says the science put them together. Yeah,
It
it's
don't
the
make sense.
personality test.
It don't make sense when you look at it. Sometimes I look at how these couples put together. I'm like, this couple. Okay, how can that make sense to you? Because I'm looking at it now. Okay, I got to give production. It really ain't the experts putting these couples together. It's whatever team is behind them that's sifting through these people. That's actually putting these people together.
It's for
It
our
really ain't
viewing
them.
entertainment.
Yes. Yep. Thank you, people. These couples are put together for our viewing entertainment. Elsa just said it. Okay. That means they're going to put certain personalities types together because they know they're going to clash. They know they're going to clash.
Rub each other the wrong way. So speaking of that,
Yes.
because Megan rubbed us the wrong way is why I think Derek slipped under the radar. But I'm telling you, and the phrase fits, if I am throwing him out with the bathwater when he said that insensitive thing, about his girlfriend in front of Megan, considering they had a loss. I was
so
like, I'm done.
Brought that up. But that also, you know what? I'm going to say this. To some people, that led credence to the idea of maybe he stopped playing production games of toward along this tagline of pregnancy because he's like, it was all a lie.
Could be his way of going tick tick boom.
Yeah.
But he gonna catch the flack from people like me who thinks he's being insensitive.
Yeah.
No, I said between Megan, Derek and Belinda.
Is like Belinda.
Derek Megan is like Belinda. Is like
Chad. Megan is Chad.
Yeah.
Just we saw that earlier this season because she had some outbursts. She definitely had some outbursts that was like, whoa, okay.
Right.
And yeah, I was going to say something, but
I'm done with Derek, so I'm done with Megan. I hope she is getting the mentorship she wished to from Chad.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, he is acting like he just wants a baby maker. He wants his baby batter with a baby maker. That's what he's sounding like, and I don't like him. But you know what, Derek? You are certainly welcome to come interview here because I have lots of questions.
Who do we like on this season? You guys on the truth?
Who do I like? From who? In what regard?
This season.
Like in what way? In what regard?
that tells me a lot right there. But
because I like everybody for different reasons. I like every one of them for different reasons. I would love to interview every last one of them because I have questions.
Yes, you like them for entertainment value. But I mean, as a person, who do you actually like?
You see, like is subjective to me.
You know what? You're sounding like Will right now.
Exactly. And intentionally. Because I am very much like Will when I can. In what regard? What kind of love are you talking about? Because different levels. What kind of like are you talking about? What are we talking about? I'll put on my Will hat for a moment. But I certainly like some of them for certain reasons. Like Megan, I liked Megan for, Megan, I'm sorry because it's toxic. I like when she would flip off, and then I liked when she decided to say I love you, and we saw her softer side. I like when she would she real quiet around her parents, but she light a lit fuse around Derek. You see, Megan is the kind of tick tick boom I'm used to from my friends. Okay.
Oh my God.
Now Derek, what I like about Derek is his traveling. I would like to talk to him. What has he learned in this whole COO of this health and wellness place? All the people that he has dated. He also said he dated people who didn't even have the same language. There's lots I would love to talk about every single one of them about.
Yeah.
What I like about all of them then is that they signed up for the show.
For your entertainment value.
So that we can all come together here as a community that Josh is looking for, and we could talk about it. How about that?
Not to the community. Not to the community.
But welcome in Christine Coronado. I hope I said that correctly. Yes, Derek is a runner and a track star. The when he say he traveling and catching stamps in his passport, he is a runner and a track star. He couldn't hesitate for a minute. He didn't hesitate for a minute. Yeah, he'll get what he wants because again, look at Derek. Aesthetically, Derek is going to get what he wants. He is considered a handsome young man. He has a full head of hair. He has all of his teeth. He's got great abs. Okay, Derek
got a job. He has a career.
He's a COO.
Yeah.
You know, definitely. Derek is out here. Derek is out here, and he will get his baby batter. Will be making babies. Okay. Yep. Oh, you think Megan did something to Derek and he didn't expose on camera?
You know what?
Hey, Lyrics Mom, is he a passport bro? You didn't know that? I don't think he's a passport bro, but he did say he was out there dating and traveling the world.
Yeah, he'd have been around a little bit.
He wasn't promising to marry nobody back then, but he was traveling the world, dating wherever he landed.
The options are optioning. Okay, the options are optioning for him. Okay.
Again, I just said what women are looking for with him. He got some coin. Okay. He's traveling. He got a passport, full head of hair, all his teeth aesthetically pleasing, and he got the 8-pack of abs. Again, y'all, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. Derek can go out there and he could pull a baddie, or he could pull ladies all over. Okay. Yeah. He could pull ladies all over. He's Mr. Worldwide. Yes. Okay.
This is just one of those situations. He got put with someone that he normally probably would not go for or talk to in the real world. He might approach her, but after she started talking, nah.
Welcome in, Letitia Edwards. Glad to see you. If this is your first time here, welcome in. Just like Lyrics Mob, glad to see you all here. Yes, Derek, y'all. I'm gonna say it. Derek is considered a baddie. He is considered a baddie, and he is gonna be pulling in baddies again. Megan told us his body is sickening. Okay, so again, he is gonna get what he wants.
Yeah. I can almost guarantee you, say like this, I almost guarantee you, it won't be long. It probably won't be for long. You're gonna see him married and well on his way to have his 3 kids.
Hey, knowing how much of an overachiever he is, he may have all 3 in one sitting. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Y'all know how I do around here. And for those of you who are new, clutch your pearls. But is there anything else about Megan and Derek? Because we got 2 more couples on deck.
Let's go.
Where would you like to start?
Well, since we've been going in order, might as well continue the order. Or unless you wanna save him for last.
No, I ain't got to save him for last. Here we go. Will and Brittany. You know I ain't got to save nobody for last. I ain't trying to keep the people here. Pat is enough to keep people here. I got lots to say about Pat around. But Will and Brittany, y'all. Will call Brittany to say no. This is where I know they effed up the church's money. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all are going to hear from me in a manner that y'all have not heard me in a while about Will and Brittany. Okay. This is where y'all messed up the church's money. Will called Brittany to say this is not it, and she was about to pop off tick, tick, boom. And then y'all show me the episode right after where it's decision and then reunion. Y'all could have stretched this out and keep me entertained. So Will called Brittany, said it's a no. It's a no for me, dog. And Brittany said she was going to lose it. Will goes and he is there first with the experts, and he tells them, hey, I told Brittany it's a no for me. And then Brittany comes in and Brittany does exactly the thing, I'm sorry, y'all, that I did not want her to be doing. She is begging this man. Baby, please stay with me. Please change your mind to be a yes.
I told you.
Crying into her extended nails. Okay. Will decides, and Will, this is where your bad acting is exposed. Will decides he's gonna walk the gardens, do a little confessional with production, and come back and be a yes. Which soon after he has to go on a business trip and come back. And Brittany says something in her told her things weren't going to work. They were going to end things. Something told her. Yet while they're sitting on the couch, he said he done. He don't want to do this anymore. We see the footage from inside the apartment all the time. Production ain't showing us inside apartment footage, but we got Will and Brittany's footage, right? Okay. All this time, he done told her, I got to leave. He goes to the room, and I know it's time. Y'all ain't show me the timestamp because I know, y'all, I'm just saying I know. I know Will went in there to pack, and she was still talking to him while he was packing. He did not have his bags conveniently ready.
Yeah.
He walks to the door. She blocks the door. She stands to the side of the door. He can't open it. She's not standing in front of the door. And she is saying, please don't do this. And then she says the one thing I was shooketh that she said, tell me you love me. Brittany, I want to go off on this live on you, but I'm not going to because there are a lot of Brittany's out there.
You should have stopped yourself.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of Brittany's out there. And sisters, if y'all don't get some self-esteem, do not be begging a man, woman, or freaking frog to tell you that they love you. If it don't come out of them on their own, they don't love you. You need to have some self-preservation. Why are you begging this man? I did not like it. I don't like it. But we went further, y'all. Y'all see I'm getting heated, right?
Heat up.
We go to the reunion. Okay? We go to the reunion. And we find out that Will has blocked Brittany from trying to reach him. Okay? Blocked her. Because he said she was being very rude, so nasty, and so rude when she was trying to reach him. So he blocked her number. And she wrote him a letter and took it over to his apartment. When asked Will,
This is months after, though.
Months after. This is months after. Will told us, did you read the letter, Will? No. And I knew that. I knew that right away that Will did not read that letter. He shouldn't have read it. I would have had a video of burning it and posted it on the internet, but that's just me being nasty and rude.
He should have pulled homeboy from last season. Burn it. Burn it.
Okay? Not in the kitchen, which would have been devastating, but do it outside of the fire pit on premises. But the leasing office told him that she'd been there a few times. A few times. But Brittany is saying, no. It's not for him. I've been there because Jalen lives there. And I was visiting Jalen. Healthy excuse. Because we know that excuse, Brittany. I'm going to see my friend, but I'm going to take the long way around to see if his car is parked up, the long way around to see if the light is on in his apartment. We know the setup because Jalen could have met you on the street corner. You ain't got to be nowhere near where Will is living. But Brittany, I'm very disappointed. I'm highly disappointed. And my baby girl, I would like to shake you and then hug you. Because here's the thing. This man has been consistent this entire show. Absolutely. People have been telling you he don't like you. People have been telling you, and you've been saying he's not giving you anything. So why are you feasting and filling your belly on the crumbs that he is giving you? He has a right not to like you. He has a right not to. But you also have a right, baby girl, to protect your heart, your mind, and your peace. And what I didn't see from Brittany is protection of herself. I'm sorry, Trey, go on because I would be going off on her, but I need to give you a chance to speak.
I agree with everything you said, ×2, except for one particular part. I am of the opinion that I do think Will liked Brittany. He just didn't like her enough to deal with her crazy. Okay? we've said this before about men. Yeah, most men will deal with a crazy chick. You know what I'm saying? We will. It depends on what other attributes she got. That we like, you know what? Yeah, she a little off, but you know what? She get you do this, she do that, or the coochie good, whatever. You know, yeah. But there's a limit. There's a limit. There always is a limit. I do think he liked her, but I said this weeks ago. He clocked her from like day 2 or 3 when they got on that honeymoon. He clocked her exactly who she was, and he's been playing into it the whole entire time. You want to talk about breadcrumbing? I'm gonna say this, and this is not nice to say because I don't think a person should do this at all. But you could be put in a situation where you have to breadcrumb a person. You cannot give a person like Brittany all of your emotions, everything, whatever, because she's going to take it, she's going to cling harder, and she's going to run with it. She's a stage 5 clinger. Okay. If you want to, we keep talking about this all the time. This was a perfect example. This is what a stage 5 clinger looks like. And it wouldn't matter who she got put with. She's going to show this. She's going to show up in this way. She's going to show up in the same exact way. She just happened to be put with a person that clocked her a little crazy and went, yeah, no, not for me. Okay? Not for me. Well, let's talk about it. Somebody said it earlier, and they used the perfect word. Will was coerced into saying yes. Okay? He saw where this was going weeks ago, but he was willing to go through it and find out, okay, all right, we'll see where we end up at the end of this. Could be yes or no, but we'll find out. But he came like, she's like, nah. I think, like I said, I do think he liked her to a certain extent. But any smart individual, logical, his problem, he's too damn logical. Too logical. But any logical being, you take a step back after a few days by yourself. You got to spend that night alone. You start thinking about it for real, for real. Could you see yourself playing this forward? Are you going to be able to deal with this type of personality day in and day out? No. Dang. I can't embarrass this girl on TV like this. No, I gotta tell her. Let me call her to her. Hey, it's gonna be a no for me. Let me give you a heads up. It's gonna be a no. She said I'm about to crash out. Honestly, I think she did. They just decided not to show that footage. I think she actually did crash out a little bit off camera. And then gather herself. I'm giving him exact credit what he's shown me. Think about what we're saying. Will comes off unemotional, which I think he is emotional. He just hides his emotions. He's extremely logical. He's extremely tactical. Extremely. He is figuring you out as he's looking at you, thinking. I'm giving him the exact credit for what he has shown. Now, I'm not saying that it's good. Because like I said, he's too logical. He's too cold. But he was put with a person that he had to be that.
He did say that. He said that I have to be. She said he was very cold-hearted when he told her. Now, when we saw the footage, I didn't hear Will be any different than the Will we have seen.
Nah.
But he said he has to be very, very stern with her because he's told if he is gentle with his words, it gives her mixed signals. It gives her hope that they can get back together.
Yeah, she'll hang on to it because she thinks she can convince him to change his mind.
Here's my question to the Britneys of the world, people who know Brittany. Why are you clinging to this man? Why? Why are you staying longer than you need to?
Well, there's a 2-point answer to this. Number one, it ain't just this man. I think she showed this behavior to just about every relationship she's ever been in. That's why she said they only last up to a certain point. She said this herself about her own relationships. So that tells me a lot. And you showed me exactly why in this situation with Will. Another part of that, I think she clinged on to Will because at least in her estimation, it's Will. This is funny. Her words and Will's word. We'll start with Will's word first. He's not a talker. He's not a talker, right? Not really. He doesn't show his emotions or whatnot, but he does act them out, and that's the part that Brittany has been clinging on to. Because in a lot of ways, he may not give her the affirmation that she wants to hear. And mind you, I'm being very specific with these words. Affirmation that she wants to hear. Not just affirmations, because he's been giving her that from time to time, but it's not what she want to hear. Or not in the way that she wants to hear it. So she questions it. We see evidence of that. She questions whenever he does say, "No, I like you." Okay, so which way do you like me? Well, well, you know what? I feel this way. Well, why do you feel that way? Why should it be this way? She questions it. That gets tiring. That gets tiring. Okay? Just gonna, you can't keep doing that.
But it gets tiring too if you have to kind of like drag stuff out of someone like Will. So they're both exhausting each other.
Exactly. But see, Will's mother told on Will when we met her for that brunch together. If you honestly, I think she's a lady of very few words herself, but she's very particular about what she says. She said very particularly, my son Will does not open up easily. It's going to take a while for you to open him up, but when he does, you got him. 8 weeks is not long enough to open up a person like Will. It's just not. It's just not.
Well, Trey.
For a person like Will,
For a person like Will, if intimacy was not taken off the table, you just might get to crack a little bit of the exterior.
You know what? You're correct. I give you that. But to a person like Will, from that moment, it was telling even then. Like, hold on. I can't give her the D right away because she already acting crazy like this. I got to manage this now. I got to manage this.
You spaz out on the first try? The first ride. And you spaz out? Yeah. I got to ration you.
Yeah. You know what? I don't think y'all hearing what we're saying. Listen, we are not here saying Will is perfect. The boy got issues. Okay? And these issues are going to pop up in whatever relationship he is. It's just that his particular issues, on a certain extent, is usually a little easier to deal with over an extended period of time. Because most people are not going to open up within a couple of months of relationship, tell you all my deepest, darkest secrets. No, I don't know you. I don't know you like that. You got to earn this.
Here's the thing. Will's personality is the same at his job, probably. And what works well on your job ain't going to work well in a relationship.
No.
Brittany, I am sure, is not this emotional at work. She
Probably
leaves
not.
the work bags at the door and picks up the emotional bags at the house. But again, two different people handling things. He lets all of his world, he gives the same thing. As his mother said, very little. So I would love to talk to Will as to why does he not feel safe enough to even share certain things with people, even his emotions to these people. You don't have to share everything, but everybody's like, yeah, that's Will. Yeah, that's Will. Will is always like that. Brittany, I would love to know, and this is why y'all have certainly calmed me down. Thank you for those who put comments in my recap and review, because y'all calmed me down because I was coming in swinging tonight. Towards Brittany, I was coming in elevated, and I said, "A Brittany, if you are like a Brittany, you ain't gonna hear me if I get loud and elevated." Okay, as someone said, Iyanla earlier. Yeah, I had to get in my Iyanla, calm aesthetic, because Brittany, it's one thing to stay for the show. It's one thing to stay for the show, and it's another thing if you are seeing yourself being in an emotional upheaval. You are being emotionally, you're not you're not on firm footing, and you're either crying or you're not. You don't know if he likes you or not. I need you to pull back, baby girl. I need you to pull back. It's like a free fall. And I you know what? I feel it like I can't save you. And it's frustrating that I don't see you saving yourself. And I was ticked off when she's like, tell me you love me. Where is this coming from? Where in Britney's life is this coming from? That you are
Well,
going to accept this.
she told us a little bit, when she said, I've never seen affection between my parents, and she didn't want a relationship that way. So now it's to a point where that's basically what she was trying to demand from Will, or an overabundance of affection, an overabundance.
But because the parents weren't affectionate doesn't mean they weren't affectionate with the kids. So I'm guessing they weren't.
I don't know. Her mom seems close. She just don't seem like she had a issue with her dad. The only issue was what she said. I'd never seen them be affectionate to one another. Now, God's honest truth, you can take that many ways. A lot of, maybe they just weren't the couple to show outward signs of affection all the daggone time. We don't know what happened when that door closed. Y'all sure got a lot of kids. We don't know what happened. So it seemed like she was, in that moment, it seemed like she took something that she saw and applied it to her life, saying she wanted the opposite of that without even having a conversation with her mom.
Right.
About that.
This Chicago girl, Trey and I understand Will's behavior too.
Yeah, we get it.
We understand.
Do
we agree? No.
Not fully, no. But in this situation, the woman that they put him with, you know what? I was about to say this earlier. Nah, I'm sorry, ladies in chat. I'm gonna say it. We gotta stop. I see y'all want to go in on Will. I get it, but I'm also seeing that y'all using Will as a cover to cover Britney's behavior. This girl showed herself to be a stalker. Okay. Nah, we ain't about to sugarcoat over this. The man said no. He left. Okay, you begged him. I told y'all she was gonna beg him. I told you it's gonna happen.
You did tell me.
I told you he left. Okay, cool. She's still calling him up, probably leaving all kind of crazy messages. Like what? She blocked you. Then first of all, that whole Jalen. Oh, I was going to go see Jalen. You know how I know it was a straight up lie? You know how I knew? It's what Will said specifically. He said I was away from home on a trip because of work trip. He got to leave about 2 or 3 days out of the week or whatever on his work trips. He said when he came back, the leasing office told him we kept seeing the same lady coming round to your apartment. Now, unless you're trying to tell me him and Jaden live side by side
on the same floor,
which would have been a great cover. That's what you should have said. But it leads me to think, no, you didn't. She probably lives on the other side of the complex. They said you kept showing up near his apartment. They seen you multiple times. Nah, the girl got problems.
I don't agree with you here, Tyra's World. Will did show himself. Mm-hmm. Will showed himself a lot to us.
Yeah,
the way he was impersonal, the way he did not give her much of anything. He showed himself. And we're watching him show himself and wondering, Brittany, what are we doing?
Brittany, what
is? Leave him where he is. Baby girl, leave him where he is and handle your business. Will should have made that call to her his first business trip and say, yo, it's a no
Get
for
it
me,
over.
but let's just ride this out. He was showing us who he was. He was not giving, unapproachable, stoic. He was showing us and everybody there co-signing this is Will. Again, Will, yes, he need to go see the lady. He probably need to live next door to her and get himself several sessions. Yes. But Brittany is I'm looking at our girl that we need to help her. And she said in the reunion, y'all, she's having intensive therapy. I am hoping it works for her. I'm hoping it does. For all hope. So yes, that's why I ain't getting on Will. It may sound like I'm getting on Brittany because I don't want her to be in here again. Bottom line is Brittany was sincere about a successful marriage. Again, to go to Africa, you can't have a successful marriage with a man that's giving you nothing. Nothing. Yes, you're here for a successful marriage, but when you realize that man ain't about that life, why are we begging him?
Be honest with you, and it's going to be hard for you to have a successful marriage with some of the personality traits that you were shown. It's going to be very difficult because that's a lot. It's a lot. Because all that questioning everything is someone tell you, "Hey, I like you, I love you," this, and you always questioning it. You're gonna have issues in whatever relationship you're in. You showing insecurities about everything, even your own self. You're gonna have issues in whatever relationship you get in.
But I'm telling you how to love me, Trey, meaning Brittany's telling Will how she needs love to be shown to her, and he's not doing it repeatedly. You need to pull the plug.
True.
You need to pull the plug. He is not listening. He is not absorbing, and he's not processing and applying. You need to pull the plug.
True.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, High Vibe. She could have been like Paige.
The only problem I have with that, Brittany was inconsistent, even on the ways that she was asking how to be shown love.
She was. And the reason why I gave her grace on that, Trey, is it could have been production not showing us the same thing over and over.
True. Okay, it could be. But that's just something that I was catching. I was like, my issue, if I was there in Will's place, my main issue, first of all, I can be logical like Will, but I am not so unemotional. I'm not that person.
But you see, here's the dark side of it. When you have that person anxious and begging you and chasing you, sometimes that is a sweet beverage.
It makes you feel good.
Yes, because yes. With all my pink, with my pink lace shirt, my pearls, and my lip gloss, she wants me.
Hard truth. All of us go through some of that because we want to be wanted. It just depends on what level and how much of it do you need it. That's the key of all this. How much of it? Like I said this earlier, most men, we all like a little crazy. What is your crazy limit? What is your crazy limit? And women go through this too. Women just attach it to their standards. What's your standard limit? What type of guy are you willing to accept? And to what limit? We do it all the time. We do it every day. We're just seeing extreme examples of it with these two particular people. Very extreme examples.
Now,
my issue, like I was about to say earlier, my issue with Brittany would have been her inconsistency. Because I was picking up on that real early on. I was like, she's all over the place. You remember me saying she acts like a child, and that would have been a problem with me. It's too much of a childlike behavior, but not, just all over the place. That would have turned me off. Like, too inconsistent with your emotions, what you want, what you don't want. I don't know where to go with you.
I wouldn't say to go to Africa that Will wasn't sincere about marriage. Maybe not marriage to her, or maybe it changed for him. But I know, yes, Will's demeanor makes hers seem out there. But again, then we could
I'm,
say the same for Megan and Derek.
yeah,
Derek's demeanor could make Megan look really out there and look extra because he's just chill.
yeah, he's more
Chad,
calm.
can we say the same with Chad and Belinda? Chad's demeanor seem out there because Belinda's more even keel.
I'm usually a very calm and chill, even keel person. So if you start acting out on me, it's going to look a certain type of way, and I know that about myself.
Well, I do that for you to look a certain type of way.
but but I like the way you answered to go to Africa's question, because I was going to be a little more blunt. Honestly, I don't believe it. And you know why? Because Brittany told us herself, in every relationship she's been in, it only lasts up to a certain point. And we asked the question right then and there, why is every relationship you've been in only lasts a certain point? This does not make sense. What's going on? Oh, wait. Because she have not given us an example this season. She is a ballooner. She balloons in relationships. And it can be too much for some people. Like, whoa, too much.
And then the need for closure. At least she's not like the lady in Love is Blind Brazil. Okay, y'all, season 5.
Oh, yeah. That was crazy.
You know, she used everybody's phone number to try and reach this man that he had to block even her coworkers from trying to reach. At least Brittany tried to reach him. He said she was not kind. It is his right to block her. But why are we writing letters and going over to the apartment? I would just leave him. I would cut the line and just let him sail away on the high tide. I'm sorry. But again, yes, Will had a strong poker face. And that is not going to endear you to a spouse or wife or whatever. But again, y'all, here's where I will give Brittany grace. I will give Brittany grace. We do not see a lot of what's going on. We are fed what they want us to see. As I told you, there are other, shows, dating shows where I see people act way worse than Will. And there's yes on Decision Day, and they are still married today, which tells me production wants me to only see the stone cold face Will. I'm going to give her the little bit of the benefit of Will probably was sweet and enduring at times, enough to keep her there and keep her thinking there is a chance.
She liked him. Obviously, he showed qualities about himself that she wanted to keep.
And obviously, he showed enough that she wanted to stay and try. Again, I'm thinking there's a lot we have not seen. I've seen a woman tell off her mate and they are yes, and they're still together because we only saw the times when she was being snippy with him. But again, I'm going to give her that grace. But where I'm not going to give you grace, Brittany, is blocking the door, asking this man to say that he loves you while he's walking out the door with his bags. That to me is a deep root that I'm like, girl, he just told you he don't want to be here with you anymore. Leave it alone.
I had an inkling that it was going to happen.
I know, but not to that extent, Trey. You warned me, but I didn't think she's going to be blocking the door. And even when you walk in, I'm begging you to say you love her.
That's what Brittany said. She said, I had an inkling that it was going to happen.
I know you were using her words, but I was twisting it to this moment.
I was like, yo, stage 5 clinger, okay? It is what it is.
Now, there are qualities in Will that I would find, okay? I would find, hey, Will and I could hang out. Totally hang out. Will and I can hang out. I understand Will, understand his processing and thoughts, the parts that we saw. I don't know the man. I don't know all that encompasses his personality, but I will tell y'all, I used to be Will.
They are, and let's just be all the way for real. There's a lot more Wills, and I'm talking men and women. There's a lot more Wills out here than you think. Honestly, a lot of y'all are some Wills. Even by the way y'all answer some of these questions, talking what you would have do, that's very calculated, almost like a will. Guess it just depends on the situation you're in, huh?
Either you're crying like Brittany and begging somebody to say I love you, or you're calculated and
Like Will.
like
Which one
Will.
are you? Which one are you? Ah, ah,
I'm the
ah.
cameraman. I'm the cameraman.
You behind the scenes. Yeah, we're gonna put this together. Yeah. All of y'all, everybody, all inclusive. All inclusive.
Yeah, two extremes. They say neither. I'm
Yeah.
neither.
You can say that all you want to. I don't know. Now, high five. Over the years, I've seen enough of your comments. You're a little bit more of a Will. You're definitely now. You're very calculated. You're very intelligent woman. You're a little more of a Will. Definitely.
Oh, Trey is a Will, definitely.
Yeah. I'm very logical. 1 + 1 is 2. I just had to learn to be emotionally available as I
Oh
got
yes.
older.
Oh, and it wasn't that difficult. Jesus.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not
It was
trolling.
it was difficult for me.
I'm straight up serious. We are people are usually in 2 categories, and there's a spectrum across the board. And we've seen it with these 2 couples. You could be a Will or you could be a Brittany. You could be a crier or you could be a sniper. Which one are you? Which one are you? And most people that we do tend to come across, a lot of us are on the spectrum of a Will. We seen what the criers do.
Well, that's the problem, Tyra's world. We wouldn't come off as calculating as Will. And who's more dangerous?
Exactly.
The Will that you can see or us that you can't?
Exactly.
See,
But
that's why I appreciate Will for showing who he is. Because we
yeah.
could clock it. But if he was giving us a little bit of breadcrumbs and we're like, wait a minute.
Oh, you know what? Prime example. Well, here you go. Prime example. If Will was the Will, how he acted in front of Britney's family all times, you would have never known. You would have never known.
Ever. Yeah, because
Imagine
when he
if
was
that was 30%.
charismatic around her family.
Yes, you would have never known at all. He'd just been normal.
Yeah, but we see him and we appreciate him. We don't have to navigate and figure out. Will was glaring. She may be loud, but he was loud too. In his quiet, he was loud.
Yeah.
I would have had more respect for him if he stuck to his no on decision day and not played into it. Huh?
We know what that was. They definitely came up behind and know, hey, we need a yes, because we need everybody to say yes, but you can leave when you want to. Blah 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 blah. I think what I think happened. What's funny? I remember looking at Will's face after they played the footage of him leaving that apartment. He wasn't happy that they played that footage.
No.
I think they told him. I do think they told him, hey, just say yesterday. He knew he was already going on that couple-day trip already. You could just, break it up then when you come back. Okay, bet. Boom. And that's exactly what he did, because it was what would lead me to think that it was kind of telling how Brittany goes, I already had an inkling that was going to happen. Why are you having an inkling? Why couldn't you have this inkling all daggone season when he was literally telling you this all season? Now you got an inkling?
And then at the cookout with everybody else, and they're sitting there, and Rhonda's like, y'all sitting on the opposite ends. What happened, y'all? And Will said his, very clinical. Mm-hmm. And then Brittany is like, and then he's like, can I finish? But then he was ganged up on.
She was ready to go off. And who led the charge in that?
Jalen. Again.
Jalen. Messy.
Yes, he was. I see he was. He's like, can I finish? Can I? And when she's like, can I speak? He's like, okay, thank you. It's like he can't, if he ain't clinical and he show anything different, then all of a sudden, as you said, Jalen jumped in, Megan jumped in, and it's like, wait a minute, y'all. This is 2 married people. Y'all don't get involved. Leave it alone.
In cases like this, sometimes you can't win for losing, because let's say if Will was showing more emotions, this and that third, we would have been like, oh my God, Will has no emotional regulation for a man.
But notice we're not saying that about Brittany.
Funny, huh? Funny, huh?
We ain't saying that Britney ain't got no emotional regulation.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say this. Why do I feel like out of everybody, why did Will come dressed like Pat? what,
Will
about
been in Pat's closet. That's the first thing I said.
You know what that told me though? This man don't care. He's like, I really don't want to be here. I really don't want to be here. I'm just here because obligations.
You saw him on the couch though.
Listen, and him for it's how I know that most of y'all will probably hang out with Will. He was reacting in real time to all of the other mess that was going on the couch. It was the same reaction that we was having. Like, what? Really? He said that? Oh, nah. Damn, what? Yes. Yes. Now, here's the funny thing. That's what I was going to say. Why did I have the feeling that if after that reunion was over, if Will would have said, hey, Brittany, you want to swing by, she would have swung by.
You better preach.
Like, if he said, hey, come through, she is there.
I'll meet you in the parking lot.
What?
Yeah, but in the dressing room. But what did we say? As already saying, he was very expressive on that couch. So there's a whole side of Will production did not show us.
Very. Very.
You see, I understand what you're trying to say to go to Africa, but she could not regulate her emotions. Her emotions were always spilling out.
Yeah.
So that for me means she ain't got no emotional regulation.
She had no regulation whatsoever. No. None. But yeah, Brittany was definitely acting like call me anytime, boo boo. Because I kind of think that that letter thing was it was too far. It was too far from the reunion.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Will could have said, Brittany, why don't you come pen me a new letter? Let's go over here.
Hold on. How about you write? If he say, hey, Brittany, how about you write me a letter? And this time I read it right in front of you. Woo! Wet. She would have been wet. Oh my God.
She said she's in intense therapy, Rosho. Yeah, she would have gone. I'm sorry.
I'm be honest, I didn't believe that when she said it. That's just my opinion. I didn't believe it.
I hope she doesn't entertain him if he does come back around or entertain a Will like again. I'm hoping that therapy does work for her. I'm hoping so because again, yes, we are wrong. Rosha, you know we're gonna be here for a good cackle.
Wrong about what? Because I think we're speaking very factual here. I'm judging by what we have seen and what this person has shown. See, here's the problem with this. Too many times, all of these reactions are shown for what we would like the person to have shown. What we would have liked for the person to have done. Oh my God, Brittany, why did you do that? I want to give her grace because I would have wanted her to do so. That's not what we saw.
No.
What we saw was what we saw.
She's still open to him.
Listen, don't be blind and don't delulu yourself, people. Don't. I'm being real talk for real life. Don't delulu yourself.
She was still too gentle, Trey, at the reunion. Yes. She was still too gentle.
She still want that man. Listen, if you find a guy and he is too cold and unreactional to you, too cerebral, don't talk to him. Because you ain't gonna get nothing out of him. If you come across a woman and she has no emotional regulation, she's just going off on tangents, this and that third, about how she feel about this, then she's questioning this and that third. Don't deal with her. It's gonna be too much. And vice versa. Don't do it.
I just want better for both of them. But I want better for Brittany.
Hold on, Rosha. I've never been in. Listen. I'm sorry, Rosho. I'm gonna be honest with you. You might have some Britneys for friends, but you love them, so you won't see it. It's real talk.
Well, no, I know. I have a few Britneys. Okay, I know I have I have a few
I,
Britneys.
I know a couple of Wills. All right. I
Oh
know a
no,
couple.
as I told you, I used to be Will, so I know.
I know both of them. I've seen both of them. Even dealt with a Britney or two. Gotta. And Will was right. You try to deal with it delicately, but there come a point in time you gotta be like, nah,
And let me
hell to
talk.
the nah.
Let me talk that for the ladies, ladies. Okay. Here's how we are, Will, and sometimes we got to be Will. Okay. If you in the club and you gently tell a man, no, thank you, no, thank you,
Mm-hmm,
and he's still pressing.
mm-hmm.
Nah, baby girl, yeah. He still want to play game, still want to lay game, still want to buy you a drink. And you got to be hard cold, whether the man at the bar or the man whistling at you on the street, and you got to be like, no, could you move it along? Could you get out my face? And then he gets to a point where he calling you all kinds of names because you realize if you're too gentle with him, he gonna think he has hope. Again, when I saw that and Will said that, I said, this is sometimes how we as ladies, we have to be, as Will said, he had to behave. Okay?
To go to Africa, you're proving my point. You can hope that she can learn that all you want to, but until she gives that grace upon herself, she ain't never gonna do it. She's gonna be who she is, the same way we have seen her, and so we will. If he doesn't learn how to, honestly, it ain't even about opening up. It's learning how to express yourself in a more healthier manner. Express your feelings for a person to try to understand you better. That's his main issue. He is
But
so unexpressive.
But did we hear her at any time throughout that reunion act like she was going to buck up against Will?
No, she still like him.
That's what I'm getting at, y'all. That was my thing. I'm like, it's Brittany, you didn't give me of, you did me wrong this whole time. I didn't deserve that. I didn't get that energy from Brittany. So that's why I'm agreeing with Trey. Like, if he say, hey, you want to go out for a drink? Let's have a chat. She would go. I
Yes,
wouldn't, but she would
real
go.
quick. Yeah, I wouldn't either. But she going because she liked him. Her family liked him. Her family liked him.
That's why I'm saying there's parts of Will we did not see. Why does
Yeah,
she like this man so much?
yeah, yeah. Remember, it's still a produced show. They got to show a certain storyline. And this is a storyline they decided to choose for them. Like there's somewhat like I said before. I do think Will liked her, but it wasn't enough to say yes to a potential 10, 20, 30 year for the rest of your life marriage with this woman. That you're going to have to continue to deal with those personality traits that she may have that you might not like. Because I'm be honest with you, I thought it was super telling when it was at that decision day, and he was telling her how she did not appreciate the times that he was he was being shown her affirmations, this, that, third, or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Brittany went on this whole diatribe about what he was giving her, what he was doing for her, how sour she was that she didn't show appreciation for that. I'm like, wait a minute, where's all this coming from?
Right, I didn't see all that. What you are espousing? You see, Trey started off with big words. You are espousing all his wonderful qualities and what he has done for you and brought to your life. And I'm like, is there another Will? Because I ain't see it in this Will. There got to be another Will in the building. Cause not this Will, not the Will we saw.
To the point, now I'll be honest. Now you can go back and forth if you think it was fake or not. Me personally, that's the main reason why you saw Will started crying. He went, "Oh crap!" It's like, ah.
He let out some thug tears. He was crying.
He felt
But
that. He
but
felt
again,
it.
Trey, he may have felt it, but he ain't felt it enough to even touch her shoulder. He didn't
He
even
shouldn't
grab her a
have.
tissue.
Because he knew if he would have done that, what would have happened?
She would
That
have jumped in his lap.
would have leaned into it would have leaned into what she really wanted and the manipulation of it all. He was trying to make a break, but he had to walk off, and they had to go and talk to him. But like, hey, listen. I know you probably would know, but just to say yes, we need to have a yes. You know what I'm saying? And just for today, don't embarrass her. Just for the day, just say yes. And if you want to break up a little later with him, you can do that. Blah blah blah. Yeah, they talked to him afterwards. It was all diabolical.
It was. I didn't like it. I was like, where is that will? I didn't see that will. I didn't see that will at all. And I would like to see. So I'm like, this is the will you crying over. This is the will you're begging.
That's the man she wanted.
That's the man she wanted, but that's not the man we were shown. So then production, you making Brittany look wild out here.
You know what? I'm going to be a little toxic tonight. To go to Africa, I'm going to give
just
you the
tonight?
Same energy. Yeah, just tonight. I'm going to give you the same energy you've been giving me for weeks. I think you hate men. Yeah.
Oh, daggone it, Trey.
She said, I hate women. I think you hate men. No, I think you hate men.
Trey. No, she hate men that behave like Will. Daggone it.
But she can't see the will within herself? Whoa. Wait a minute now. Ooh.
I can't see the will that Brittany told us on the couch. I can't see the will that Brittany told us about on the couch.
And I'm just playing with you. Ashley like her. I think she's very intelligent.
See what happens one week to another. Last week, Trey and To Go to Africa were separated at birth. Okay? Yeah. Last week, y'all were here. We separated with each other.
Yeah.
This week,
we balloon on each other.
You being mean. You being mean this week.
And you're a meanie to most people.
Am I mean?
Mean as fuck.
Oh, Peter, please.
That's how I felt last week. She was mean as fuck to me. I'm like, God damn, why you saying this to me? See? We balloon on each other. You see how we do it? We balloon on each other. She called me a misogynist. She's a misogynist. Hey, match made in heaven sound like.
We got a match.
Nah. Now we ain't popping the balloon on each other. Now this crazy.
Well, you said we ballooning each other. I gotta go with the theme.
Oh my God. That could be right. Brittany probably didn't receive so much nurturing. Well, I guess it depends on what type of nurturing we're talking about here.
Right.
It depends on what type.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I go back to what we said earlier. I think it's very telling that when she said she has internalized so much that she didn't see her parents show each other affections. So now she's just overboard with hers.
Christine. Christina's right. If she had flipped it, if she gotten cold and he can't read her anymore, she would become a puzzle he trying to figure out. And he would be salivating at her feet.
So.
Yeah, he keeps saying he's showing keeps saying that.
In spite of, I feel the same way about you, Africa. You're so beautiful. I find your intelligence intriguing and attractive. That's real. I really do.
Do I need to step away so y'all can talk?
No, I'm just saying. Sometimes you gotta show appreciation. See, this is how you show emotional availability. Wills, it's the wills of the world. Okay. Yes, I am very calculated. I am very logical, but I had to learn how to be expressive because she deserves that. That's what she deserves that affirmation. She's a wonderful woman. Okay. And that needs to be praised. But it doesn't mean that she doesn't have qualities that's going to make her abrasive. We all go through those things. For real. I got you. Right, you know what I'm saying? We're good. For real.
I had to give it the ooh child. Because I don't know. I need tell me when I need to step away for you to go to Africa to smooth things over. Okay.
Oh, you know what? Honestly, I think it will always just be a conversation with us.
Oh heck yeah. Oh yeah, it'll
Just
be
a
awesome.
conversation.
Because
It's
you
just
and
a
I don't
conversation.
agree with it'll probably be like you and I, we don't agree on everything.
Yeah. But
Oh no.
we are really lockstep in a lot of thinking though. It's kind of
Oh
weird.
yeah, that's the bad part.
So I'm
That's the
like,
bad
I feel
part.
it. I thought about that same thing.
We got to go back because then they're gonna start calling me male identified. Okay.
I'm like, I've been called female identified. Ain't that weird?
Yes, you have
How
been.
does that work? Here's go. How does that work? How can I be a misogynist? Yeah, I'm female identified. This is great. Usually those two don't mix. What's going on?
Now, Juana, when he told her he felt he wasn't good enough, that was him opening up.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
Yeah.
That was him opening up to say he wasn't enough. And him opening up to saying she constantly going to people to complain about him, complain. That's where in my recap, I said, Will, maybe you need to look at this differently. Maybe Will, we don't know him, has been told too many times what's wrong with him. So he sees it that way when Brittany could sincerely be going to other people for advice on how to do better. She could be saying, Will is doing this. How can I, is this normal? Is this regular? How can I do better? She could sincerely be going to look for help. But what he hears is a critique and that he's less than and he's not good enough and he's not doing anything right.
But she wasn't. We know it. That's the sad part about it. But if she was doing that, that would have been great. But every time we've seen her do it, it was a complaint about something. Even when she was talking to him, she was criticizing about the way he was showing affection to her. So that's why I thought it was just so strange when she started pouring into him to try to convince him to stay. I was like, what is... Now you see him all of a sudden? What's going on? Wait, I'm confused. So it just led me to think, okay, no, he was showing you some things, but it's just that boat ride that they had, that last date, was, I think, super telling on their whole relationship. It was very telling.
Trey, you couldn't let her have 2 seconds. I was trying to humanize her. 2 seconds.
I'm too used to telling the truth about things. We ain't gonna be lying out here. Nah, I ain't doing that.
We ain't gonna josh it up in here. We ain't gonna josh it.
We ain't joshing it. Truth hurts. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Is there anything you'd like to say? What?
Yeah. Did you remember that artist, Truth Hurts? I miss her.
Yes.
I thought she was cool.
I have said my heartfelt speech to Brittany. Okay, I have said my heartfelt. Brittany and Will, you are certainly welcome to come here for an interview at any time if you would be so kind. And I would especially like for both of them for us to see their journey thus far from then now looking back at themselves. That I would be totally interested to see because I'm sure they've had growth. Everybody has growth. I'm sure they had. And it'll be interesting to hear them talk to their self before maths and talk to the person they are now after Married at First Sight.
I didn't agree with. I hope Brittany doesn't go back through this again.
Oh, Lord.
When they asked her, would you do this again? I thought it was funny they didn't ask Will. They just asked her. Which led me think, oh my God, are we going to see her in another couple of seasons someplace else?
Are they going to put her on another? Remember, Maths and Love is Blind is the same production company. Are we going to see her on Perfect Match?
Yeah, in Perfect Match. And yes. Oh God, I hope not. I hope not. Because I still think she's going to show up very similarly. And it's going to be...
Unless she said she's doing intensive therapy. So the new and improved Brittany may show up on a future show. But again, when we are making changes of ourselves that deeply, we may, need a little bit of, we may need, how can I say it? a little time to make sure that the therapy kind of sunk in. Okay.
It's not a G's, Tyra. I'm being serious for her own protection. These y'all gotta understand. These people are here to use you to get
Right.
ratings. Okay, that's their job. And I don't want her to be put in a situation where she's going to be exposed like this again. For real,
Right.
for real.
But what Tyra's world could be saying is if Brittany does this again, she may end up like AD and find her Kang, okay, and be happily married and expecting her kid. Don't block her blessings, okay?
Do we really want to? Do we really want
No,
to?
we're not having that discussion. But
Okay.
we are seeing firsthand that AD had a monumental moment, even though I have no problem with Clay, because that's the nature of the show to say yes or no at the altar. AD has gone on another show. She has met her king, her husband, and she is expecting, and she is doing well for herself. So we would prefer a more healed Brittany if she is to come back on our television. A more healed Brittany do a show, but not the Brittany that we see now. Okay, but EB, welcome in. I think this is your first time commenting, unless your name, of course, YouTube doing all kinds of things with the names. But yes, we did agree with you that we didn't see much growth with Brittany, because we think if Will asked her to go out for a drink, can I buy you a drink? Ooh, yes, she will go home with him.
He probably say, "Hey, you going to Jalen house tonight?
Swing by before you leave the building. Swing by."
What? Yo, I thought about the same thing to go. I actually thought about that, but I knew. I thought about this early on in the season, but I knew that was going to be a very, very sensitive topic to try to even get into, so I didn't touch it. But I thought about that.
Pat and Rhonda are next. That's our last couple, Ari. Is there anything else you would like to chew them out? I mean, chew on with Will and Brittany?
No.
Okay.
I'm done with that state.
Tell me about it, child. Ooh, so our last couple, last but not least, is Pat and Rhonda. They both said yes on decision day. Okay, they both said yes. But wow. Pat came in as a no. He came in as a Will. So maybe they dressing alike because they entered decision day the same way. And Rhonda noticed that he was not, turned towards her and very nice, to her. He wasn't holding her hand while she was pouring her heart out, but she don't want to listen to his heart being poured out. Okay. But later on, Pastor Cal said, usually people get in this rut when they are focused on what's, the issue in the marriage rather than what's excellent and good. And they had them do the exercise of what's really good about the other. Pat became more relaxed. He was more open to her. And Rhonda said yes, that she wants to stay with him. And Pat said yes, he wants to stay with her. Come reunion, the very next hour, we find out they are not together. Pat said that he has found that in relationships, he loses himself to his detriment, and that, the other person basically doesn't love him the way he needs to be loved. Rhonda still don't want to hear what Pat has to say. Pat is still being shushed and quieted by her. So I didn't know how this was going to work out. But Pat is back on the market. I'm sure, I wonder if he, back with the lady that he dumped, 6 months prior to the show. But definitely Pat and Rhonda are not together. My issue is Rhonda's about self. Rhonda's about self. She don't want to hear Pat. She don't want to hear about who Pat is, and leaving us here all thirsty, because at least I'm thirsty. Y'all can say y'all ain't thirsty, because the few times we hear about Pat and learn about Pat, it's like we want more. We want more. Who is Pat? Can we get a little bit more? But Rhonda just was like, I'm surprised she was a yes. I was surprised she was a yes, because I thought Pat did not provide her with what she wanted, but she was. I thought Rhonda was going to be a no. What do you have to say about them?
Oh my God. I actually, if I remember my answer correctly, I said Rhonda was going to be a yes. Pat probably should be a no, but he might say yes. So I guess it kind of worked out what I was thinking. Um, I thought it was. I'm combining the two episodes of what I've heard here. I thought it was so strange to all of a sudden, because Pat changed his mind, her coochie dried up when he has been going back and forth in his mindset this whole season. So why all of a sudden is it drying up now? So I only have the only way I can think about that is no, you were intentionally trying to be rude and cutting to him. You was trying to assault his manhood in that moment. Because in that very moment when she said that, Pat was going through the diatribe of, what fed it up for him was he had just got back. There had been 10 days since he's been back, and they had no physical interaction. So he was like, no, I ain't living through this again, because that was his number one thing from the very beginning. I got to have some physical intimacy with everything else.
Keep in mind, she said we traveled or we done so much traveling before, so it was Pat's trip. And I wonder if he was going on all the trips that Rhonda wanted to go on, kind of like Jalen doing for Josh. He going on all the Rhonda trips. Now it's finally a trip for Pat. She don't want to go nowhere.
Exactly. I was feeling that too. I was like, that's strange. But even she knew when she did it on purpose. I think she did it on purpose. When he came back, actually, she said she said he was listening to some type of meditation, angry meditation music, and she asked him, "Are you listening to that because we haven't had sex in 10 days?" And he said, "Yeah." So you knew what the heck you was doing and going on. So what? All right, Rhonda. Oh God, remember what I said? Remember I said this earlier. Most men will stay with you, but we got to figure out if we're going to be able to accept what type of crazy are we going to be able to accept. Pat told you his limit from the very beginning, and then Rhonda is a little cray, but the poom poom was probably still fire for his age. I bet you it was.
Y'all know that's what y'all say.
Yeah.
More fire the personality, the more fire downtown.
I bet you it was cooking. I have to give her that. I bet she'd be cooking in the sheets. Cook you up. But you have to, I'm gonna go extreme because I saw somebody else go extreme with this. She's gonna cook you in the bed, but you're gonna have to accept her emotional abuse to come with it. Now, the only question is how much and for how long you're gonna be able to take that.
You've been gone. I think she said he was gone for a couple of weeks on his trip. And then I come back a month, and then 10 days later so that's 40 days. I mean, Jesus went through that. I don't have to.
A whole month. You know what?
So when I come back from my trip, you're not happy enough to see me to drop the drawers. I'm sorry, y'all. This is grown folks. We after 8:00 somewhere. Really?
Listen, GTD, Tommy Strong, got the draws. I got the draw. Hey, nah, drop them things. Bring it on through. Nah, the whole thing just seems a little weird, to me. But I think she said yes on decision day because she didn't want to be in another. She did not want to be in another situation where she was being left.
Yes.
Again. This particular, all this months later, I think she had got to the point where she was okay with being left because she facilitated a way for him to leave.
But when she said that the way he was, that it dried her up, did she not realize the way she was would deflate him? Her nagging is unattractive.
Wait a minute. Even on top of that, hold on. You said by him changing his mind, it dried you up, right? But obviously, you continue to have the sex with him and going on all these trips for months. Make it make sense. That don't make sense. It couldn't be that dried up. No, the coochie ain't dried up. You lost respect for him. I can see that happening. But then if that's the case, you should have lost respect for him weeks ago. Because he's been flip-flopping back and forth on you. Because you've been rubber banding him this whole relationship. She's been rubber banding him. Like,
but then she wigged me out. I'm looking at my notes when she said he wanted a wife, not necessarily me, and he just wanted a wife and physical intimacy. He didn't really want me, and I had to say that in the recap. Okay, Rhonda, he don't know you. None of y'all know who the person is, so you are there just for a husband, just like he is there just for a wife. He does not know you. When he signed up for this, none of y'all know each other. So everybody comes there for a husband or wife.
Exactly. He has to learn to want you for you. And from what you was teaching him, the fact that he was willing to be like, you know what? Let's see where this goes. Because I do think part of him likes her.
Yeah.
She's likable.
But she's the excitement. Right. She was the excitement he wanted. The front porch concerts, the going here, then everywhere. But again, Rhonda wants things on her terms.
Yes.
Because again, she's dragging him to front porch concerts. But then when he turns around and buys tickets to a show to take her to, she got a problem. We need a calendar. We need to organize this. It seems like she wanted Pat to be open to her, and she wasn't open to him.
I feel sorry for Chad, man.
Pat.
Pat, my bad. I felt sorry for Pat. He just looked deflated. Like
tired of it.
Tired. This was the first time. Well, actually, when the season started out, he looked like a very vibrant human being, right? Very vibrant. As the season kept going along, it seemed like the vibrancy just drained out of him, or he wouldn't even drained. It got sucked out of him.
He went from liftoff to Houston. We have a problem.
What? Houston, we have a problem. I don't think we're going to make it to orbit. It's coming back down. It's going to crash. We're burning up on entry. We are burning up on entry here.
That's a double entendre.
I know. You like what I did there? Like, oh yes, her energy is she's very vampiric. We're gonna use correct terms here. It is very vampiric, okay? In nature.
We using right terms. Okay.
Very vampiric. She literally sucks the air out of the room, any room that she's in. She has to be the center of attention. She has to be. You know, it has to be about Rhonda. Rhonda. You know, so it's like she's very needy.
Her son said that.
Yeah.
Her son told us. Mm-hmm.
Told her straight up from day one, so we saw the chaos was about to sue with that. When the son said what he said, I went, uh-oh. I was like, whoever she gonna put with, he might be in trouble.
And you say she needed a boy toy, Juana. Pat is her boy toy because he is younger than her by a few years. So, you know, she messed up the boy toy. Boy toy don't want to play no more. Okay, he don't want to play no more. But my thing is, Rhonda exhausts me. I'm exhausted talking about her. Yeah. I'm like, where in her life does she make room for her life to change for him?
None. There wasn't gonna be no change. She needed an accessory.
Yes.
She needed an accessory.
Somebody that will go along with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he was actually looking for a partner or companion.
Right. Exactly that, Ari. She wanted him to be what her dad was not. She wanted him to do whatever she wanted to do, because remember, the dad did what the sister wanted to do because the sister showed interest in what the dad wanted to do. Rhonda wanted a man to be totally focused on her. What we heard and what we saw. But again, you can't, a man, your romantic partner cannot be a substitution for a parental figure. And this, Rhonda, again, is a story of, if you don't handle your parental, challenges, it's going to show up when you're 60 something years old.
Listen, going back to that cookout get together they had when Chad said F y'all, you see Pat face? Pat was like, I feel you, brother.
Yes.
Pat was like, I feel you, brother. All right, listen.
Pat said, take me with you. Take me with you.
Help me. Like, yo, somebody help me, bro. Take me with you. I'm stuck here. I'm trapped. Okay? I'm blinking blink twice. If I need help, he's blinking hard. Oh my God.
Woo. Yes, I did think one of the voices of the ladies did sound like a lady that we heard before, but I was just thinking the cadence was the same.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not Jalen. I'm hoping she's not doing this again. Okay. Yes, thank you, EB. Emotional baggage. And Pat, he in the Air Force. He gonna need an actual those big planes that do drops. That's what he need to carry her baggage.
C-130.
That's what he need. He can't do it with a chopper. He can't do it with a chopper. I'm trying to do the Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper.
You need a cargo plane for that baggage.
You need C-130 in the air. Maximum load.
And it's okay. You can have a companion, but it has to be give and take. We're not hearing where, again, if we're comparing, we're hearing Rhonda is more like the Josh. She wants Pat to do everything that she wants to do and conform to her, but she is not reciprocating.
Exactly. She's a Josh personality with Chad's marriages.
Ooh. Yeah, because she has multiple marriages in the pocket too. And what told me she was wild was when she said a week before the wedding, a week before the marriage, she and her children moved in with the spouse. How do you do that a week before?
Yeah, diabolical. Diabolical. Yeah, so she already had issues, and there were long standing issues that has embedded into her personality. She's at an age where, let's be honest, she's probably not going to change.
No.
This is what it is. This is who she is. It is what it's going to be. So.
Whew. Yeah, but we're happy that Pat has grown his hair out. Pat is out here trying to compete with Derek. Grew his hair out a little bit. Okay, he's letting the ladies know, hey, the hair may be a little bit thin, but it's long. Okay, maybe a little thin, but it's long. I'm out here, lady. He got his little curls in, and I'm sure he and Will will hang out later.
Pat was talking a little spicier than on that couch, wasn't he? Like, nah. I think the Colonel came to play. The Colonel came to play that. Like, you know what? Oh my God! What was so weird? Why was Pat acting more like Chad did this season, and Chad was acting like Pat during the reunion?
I don't know, but it was a flip. Pat did talk about flipping the switch.
Yeah,
he said, I heard her say I was unattractive. She ain't like me, and my switch flipped. And when it flipped, it don't ever flip back.
It don't flip back. So they, woo! What this man is old man with his chest out. He did some push-ups. He feeling good.
That was what Rhonda said. I need a man to be a man. And Rhonda got the man.
Yeah, that was the man right there. And Mystical playing in the background. The man right here.
What? What? Oh, Ludacris. You know, who you think you're talking to? Who, me? Couldn't be me. Nah, not me. That's the energy Pat came with too. But yes, you're right. Chad and Pat changed personalities.
He flipped.
Pat had the bass in his voice, and maybe that's what Rhonda was when she was looking across the seat at him, like, ooh, okay, maybe I should give him One more chance.
Chad was called out because that was the storyline that was given to him for the season.
Yeah.
You know, he was
But-
going to. Oh, here you go. Chad. They wanted Chad to be the ultimate bad guy, but it actually
Villain.
turned out to be Josh.
Right. It should turn out to be Josh. That's why Josh did it. But here's the thing. Why aren't we roasting Pat then? Okay, we usually roast. I have a few things. Why are we roasting him when he says the physical intimacy needs of his were not being met? You know, usually when a man says that on a show or otherwise, and we hear that, we're usually roasting him.
Well, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. A person, when a person shows up bigger, has a bigger, or I use the word ballooning. When a person balloons bigger than the other person in the room, all we're going to be focused on is the balloon. And the balloon was Rhonda in that relationship. The way she was showing up, it overshadowed anything that Pat was doing or saying. You know, to the point where we actually felt empathy and felt like, yeah, we felt empathy and sympathy for Pat and what he was going
But he
through
was
with her.
mad he didn't have access to his wife after 40 days.
Wouldn't
So much
you?
he needed meditation.
Well, if you didn't have access to your husband after 40 days, wouldn't you feel a little type of way?
After 4 days, yes.
You said 4 days. That's your limit. 4 days. Listen, now you got to run me that deep, boy. Come here.
I need a doctor's note.
Oh, the doctor said I gotta be out for at least a week, babe. Oh, let me see this note. This is a real note. Hang on, let me check this.
I need to check that that's a properly licensed medical professional, not just your homeboy putting the doctor on his name.
Listen, Miss Elsa said it, y'all. You got 4 days with her, and you got to run this. You got to run her something. Run them pockets, something. Run something.
But then again, Pat, why doesn't Pat handle his own business? Why doesn't Pat handle his own business? Okay. He's been gone for 30 days. I know he's been handling his own business. Why doesn't he handle his own business?
You still want the physical with her, you know. Listen.
But why get mad? Why can't you talk about it and say, hey, I have missed you, honey. When can we get back in the sack?
I think he did. I think he tried that day. I think he tried that day when he got back.
But was he clear, or was he like Belinda saying, you know, let's go to bed, and it wasn't translating?
You know what? It probably was in the middle. I'll tell you, it's how good guys.
That's exactly where he wanted to be, in the middle.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I can guarantee you, it was more like you came home, you try to kiss her, she probably halfway kissing you. You try to, you know, she give you more credit. You had 2 hours. Like, damn, run the draws, Jesus. You know what? See what I'm saying? The truth comes out. Okay, we out here playing. We want to feel sympathy for certain characters, but you let a certain situation happen. Everything's situational. You let a certain situation happen, all of a sudden the real you come out. Y'all talking about running draws. Nah, it can never be me. Nah, stop it. Okay.
Well, welcome in, Natasha. You are certainly fitting right in. Okay, you have found your community. She did not want him to move into her house.
No.
Oh, your daughter called. You did miss a good 15 minutes, Rochelle. But you know what? Your daughter is important. You could roll this back.
Yeah, just don't be a Belinda, though. You know.
Don't have the dog in the bed.
Yeah, no dogs in the bed. You know, don't try to live vicariously through your daughter. You know, let her have her own life. You know?
Ari, that's why I'm saying it again. Okay. And anytime the folks that are new to us here, I'm going to continue to say the community. Okay. Community.
He definitely went woosah. He was like, nah. Like you said, we can deal with cray and ridiculousness, but listen, Only but so long, and especially if you ain't giving the quick cool. What?
Yeah.
Nah.
I need to be I need to be incentivized to handle your cray.
Listen, tomato, it ain't no different if that man giving you the lash. How many times have we heard women taking this dude, he barely got a job living on the couch for, oh boy, that D. You know he a buster. But man, that lash is crazy. We've seen it. Some of us have experienced it. You know, some
But what
ladies
I'm
in
saying is Rhonda didn't like his, but he certainly liked hers.
True. Did she not like her or did she get tired of it?
Did we have enough of it to get tired?
I don't know. The
I
way she
wonder.
be giving
I'm about to be diabolical. Okay. Yes, Dr. Pepper probably saying we could live separately because she done live separately from her husband for years, like over 20 years. She living separately. Okay.
Does Dr. Pepper still exist? We only seen her twice this whole daggone season. What? I was like, Doctor Who? Pep? That Pep? Where she come from? Like, yeah. But okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna go diabolical on both of them, but
Hey, you should. Everybody needs some spice in their life.
well, that's it. You know, it wasn't spicy enough.
You know, I don't see. This is what made me question Rhonda even more. I can see that, but this is why I'm like, hold on there. If this is the case, and you don't seem like this type of woman to do this, but if this is the case, why, if your cooch really dried up when he said that on decision day, how in the heck are you going through all these months, going on all these trips together? Obviously, y'all was doing something the whole time.
Maybe it was good. It was good enough for him, but not her. Trey, now you know.
It
hold
could
on.
be, but how long? Even at her age, and the type of woman that she has shown herself to be, she ain't gonna be putting up for some limp noodle for that period of time. Nah, she's just not.
Welcome in, Joanne Homar. I hope I said it correctly. Welcome in. I think this is the first time we're seeing you here. Thank you for letting us know Dr. Pepper was sick. That's why we probably didn't see her filming or doing the visits, but we certainly did see her on decision day. Trey, come a little bit closer, okay? Listen to this. Sometimes a lady will lie to you and let you think it's wonderful, and it ain't.
Well, see, I always assume. Well, you know what? Let me get a little closer. It's you know, you're absolutely correct because a lady taught me that. Also, what I learned from the lady is how to point out the lies. So you know where I'm at now these days? I always assume it's a lie, especially when they say it. I look for the reaction of the actual body.
Oh, they can lie with that too.
Some the good ones can, most can.
So I heard.
The good ones can, most. No, don't try to cover that up. Nah, don't try to cover that up. Nah. Don't try to cover that. You had to double back because you know you mad. Stop that. Nah, you meant what you said the first time. You meant what you said the first time.
Oh my word, that is too much.
Trying to cover her. She said, "Ooh, I said too much. Let me cover this up. Ah, put a dress on it. Ooh, that look nice on it."
So I heard.
So you heard? Nah, it's the truth. You know, but that's why, you know, men. The only reason why men don't know is because they really don't care. A lot of them don't.
But but y'all don't notice regular things, Trey. I can't give you that
because
credit.
they don't care.
Y'all don't notice regular things.
When a man actually starts caring is when he actually is trying to notice the regular things, or he's trying to notice everything else.
Get some.
that's when you know he actually started to care about whatever. If he never asked you, like, hey, how was this? First of all, when a man starts asking you how was it for you, first off, sorry, gentlemen, this in the chat. First off, he already feel insecure about himself because he probably already know he done gave you the
Can't
lip.
tell. He can't tell. He can't tell how it was. That's why he asking.
That on top of it, and he know that he underperformed already. Already, he know that he underperformed.
Though sometimes they think they did perform, but they want to hear you say it. Sometimes. I'm not saying a lot. Sometimes it's like, I need to hear you say it was good for you like it was for me.
Yeah, but like I said, that only comes if he's really into you. If he really don't give a s, you just some, a good time for tonight, then you ain't gonna ask. It was nah.
And Trey, if a lady asks you that,
Was it good?
yeah.
Yeah. That tell me everything I need to know. I done got you. You locked in so hard. Woo! She locked in so hard. Woo!
So your car's right, you can move in.
No, the card didn't play. She already planning for me to move in, okay? That's what that is, all right? I know when that question comes, I did my job. I did my job well. And real talk, I'm thinking like, I didn't really do that much. Hold on. So what happened when I really give it to you?
Right. That's why you become Will, and you have to ration this.
Now I gotta be a Will.
Right. If this was a C performance and they acted like this, I can't bring my A game.
Nah. And I try to be nice. I always try to give a good B minus starting out because you don't know how much, sometimes.
No.
You can't pull out everything because everybody, that's not going to be for everybody.
No, I do a solid C plus.
I do a B minus because for men, I think just for men, we have to be B minus. Now, women can get away with a C plus.
Yeah.
Or
you know what? A C plus performance for us, y'all may think is an A minus.
If he's stupid, yeah. I've definitely seen it.
So I heard.
No, you definitely seen it. But some of those dudes are telling anyway. This is why I said if he cares, yeah, he's already done. Because the guys is just like, I got it anyway. I don't care. Moving on.
But we have to learn not to lie to people because that's how they end up in the next relationship, thinking they are a good performer. We need to stop lying to people.
Ooh, there's a lot of them out there.
Lord, so this is why Rhonda was lying to Pat, staying married to him, and she's saying he now finding out on the couch that she wasn't about it, that she was the Sahara Desert because of how he was behaving. And my thing is, ladies, and I look at Rhonda with this, we always ask for the man who's going to listen, the more sensitive man, yes, to say something nice. The Edmund of Love is Blind, Denver. We want the gentle soul that is Pat, that with a little bit of adventure. Yet here he is, and he's still being dismissed. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, granted, we're not seeing everything that is Pat, but what we saw, we weren't getting, too many red flags from Pat, but there were some. Yeah. If we go look at it, Pat could be looking at his previous marriage and he stayed around long enough just for the kids. He could be like the Britney, staying around too long. Feasting off the breadcrumbs that Rhonda is giving him.
He showed a little bit of clingy. He showed he could be a little clingy.
Clearly.
Yeah. He showed he could be a little clingy. Because you know what it is? Um, and I had to learn, just being real and truthful. I had to learn this about myself as well, especially when I was married. I found myself that, you know what, sometimes you stay in something too long when you know you should have went on ahead, packed up and leave, you know. But I had the mentality of, no, well, just how I was raised, brought up. You try your best to make it work. You do everything exhaustible to, at least from your standpoint, do everything exhaustible so that when you do leave, you know you tried everything. But
So
sometimes that leaves you open for emotional
yes,
abuse. It leaves you
yes.
open for, losing yourself. You're not the person who you are. I had to learn that,
And as
especially younger years.
we see here in the chat for Pat, Tyra's world certainly is open to have you be a part of her world. Okay. If you are certainly single. Okay. She treat a Pat well. I think a lot of the ladies would treat a Pat well, but again, there are sides to Pat we sure have not seen.
Of course.
Um, but I don't think we've seen anything that would put us off and be like, give him like a stiff arm, like many of us would give a Will or a Derek or a Josh or a Chad. Of the
Honestly,
men, of the men, I think most of the ladies will put Pat number one.
probably. Honestly, the only thing that I saw from Pat, but it was never kind of talked about because, like I said, the other side was just, yeah, it was too much. You had to talk about it. Was there were times where he could be dismissive, but I could not tell whether he was being dismissive because that's just something he does, or was he being dismissive because Rhonda literally was talking too damn much. And he
Right.
checked
Was
out.
he dismissive because it's her and her constant talking, or is he
Yeah.
a regular dismissive person? I don't think so because we
I don't,
didn't
yeah,
hear him be dismissive with other people. He was
true,
really dismissive whenever he didn't feel seen and heard by her.
true, true. So that's why I said that was the only thing I saw, but I never really brought it up because I didn't see it anyplace else.
Right.
Because even when he was having conversations with other people, he was listening. So that's why he threw you off when Rhonda said you're not listening to me. I'm like, wait a minute. I've seen him listen to everybody else. Why wouldn't he listen to you? Like, so he was listening, but it was one of the situations with that one time when he asked for clarification about something, she tried to bite his head off. Like, I can't talk to you. I literally can't talk to you. Like,
He can't. He could not talk to her, and I don't see where she opened up and left room for Pat in her life. As I said, she did not adjust her life to him.
true.
He's
She did.
going to only one time where she woke up to watch the launch with him.
Yeah.
That's the only time we saw. But he went on the family vacation. He went on, to her father's resting place. He went to her house to help her decorate around the pool and get the plants outside. Again, Pat was, jailing to Rhonda B and Josh. He was constantly doing everything she wanted.
Even, yeah, there were times with Pat. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I felt, I gotta say it, I just felt that was just a byproduct of her old age. He's old. He's an older man. Come on now.
I felt it was a byproduct of you gonna be talking, and I'm gonna tune you out.
Yeah, that too. Like, she talks a lot. It seems like she just constantly. She's a talker without. She's a talker without substance. She's talking about stuff, but she ain't really talking about nothing.
So Pat, we have another candidate. Okay, Joanne Homar. Pat is a kind of guy, quiet, sensitive, loves. Doesn't seem like he wants to argue. Calm and goes with the flow. Not want to argue. He's my kind of guy. So hey, we could have a love connection thing right here with Joanne and Tyra's world and Pat. If Pat would like to come to the channel. What? We
Now,
we are about love here.
now, now we about to have a love connection on this chat.
Hey, and if you are a member,
Set it
y'all,
up.
my member lives on Monday nights, we look at the old like Love Connection style footage. We're going to see from the 80s, see if people we want to date or dump them. I have traumatized my people 2 weeks ago. Last week I made up for it, but I don't know. Y'all may feel traumatized again this week based on the Bachelor and the Bachelorette that I'm choosing for y'all to assess. Okay? If you wish to, again, if you wish to, the membership is $1. It is 99 cents. So definitely we talk more adult topics. We could talk more about Rhonda and Pat and all these others behind the wall where we could be a little more free with our language and how we can assess things. This is all open to YouTube. Membership stuff is not monetized, so we can say whatever the heck we want. But again, we do go over footage of the old dating shows, and I'm sure Pat would make a lovely dating show video. Lovely dating show video. But for Pat and Rhonda, I think Pat was there at the reunion so he doesn't get fined. And I think Pat just walked off into the sunset to go live his life after this. Oh, thank you, Rosha. I'm glad y'all have a good time. I want to make sure that y'all, my members, feel worth. And y'all, I'm going forward to try and do watch parties. We could watch things together on another platform. And tomorrow around in my posts, you'll see it's Teleparty. You can download that to your computer. And I'm going to host tomorrow a party. It's going to be open to all, so we could all get into Teleparty correctly. Because when we enter Teleparty, it'll be mostly for members with the occasional open party place for everyone involved. Okay. So tomorrow at 8 o'clock, tomorrow at 5, I'm doing unsolicited advice. And at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be doing the tutorial and doing a watch party because we're going to be watching stuff together in the watch party where you ain't got to worry about your language. It ain't no censorship over there. It meets all copywriting, whatever. And there's like gifs and memes you could put in the chat. It is wonderful. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit the like right now. Trey, is there anything else you'd like to say about Pat and Rhonda?
I'm good on them. Get Rhonda
You're
off
good
my
on
screen.
them?
Just,
Now here's my thing. What do you think would have happened? Let's look at our older couples. What if our more seasoned couples, whatever? What if we had Rhonda with Chad and Pat with Belinda?
I thought about that. Hmm.
Would they last through the honeymoon?
No. Chad and Rhonda would probably bump heads the fastest because they have similar personality traits. Yeah, it would have been World War. Definitely would have been World War III. It definitely would have been so.
Yes, that's why I said it. Because Rhonda has been cozying up to Chad in photos on the internet.
I can see why. I think she sees qualities in him that she likes. Honestly. But the day-to-day, that might be a hard sell.
But they can live separately.
Tyra, why would you wish that upon me? I thought we were cooling in that. I ain't trying to be her boy toy. Ew. Heck nah. What? Ron ain't got but one time to talk to me like that. Nah, we ain't doing this again. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm out. We ain't doing this, okay? Then I'm gonna tell you why. You know what? You're this, and your son was right about you. Stay alone. I'll be good. But I would have been rude though. I would have been rude if I said something like that. But you know. Heck nah.
I do think Belinda's too much of a prude for Pat. I think so.
She's a prude. Very prudish.
Chad would curse her out.
Honestly, oh God, you know what? I may have to amend that. It might work because I think she actually wants a man like that. Rhonda is a tell me what to do type of woman. Oh wow. Rhonda is a tell me what to do type
She
of woman.
did say that. She's like, I want a man to be a man. Be a man. Be a man and say what you want and do what you need to do. Be a man.
That's Chad.
But again, Rhonda wants toxic masculinity. Consider y'all the generation we're talking about with these two couples. These two right here. Consider the generations.
Wait, if that's the case, then I have to push back on that. It wouldn't be toxic masculinity because that's the masculinity that she used to and wants. So it wouldn't be toxic to her.
Right. It will be for us. It will be toxic, but for her, she will thrive in there.
Yeah. And honestly, Pat might be too old for Belinda. I don't know.
Senior on the outside, but I think he's young at heart enough for her.
He will out. Funny to say, he will outpace her. Even at this age, he will outpace her. But I'm thinking what she would go for, and I don't think he would be it.
Right. I agree with you. Totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But you asked me the question, well, who do you like on this cast?
No. You know what? Not Pat. Pat was the only one that I was like, I think he cool. He was the only one that I thought was cool. And
okay.
Actually, and Miles, which Miles?
Miles from the previous seasons and Brittany. I think they're too emotional.
No.
Tyrus is asking you why, okay, if she's too old for you, why are you pairing her up with Pat? She's living.
No, she said that she would want to be with him. I ain't saying nothing like that. You don't want to try to put me with Rhonda. It ain't happening. If you want your Pat, go find your Pat. You know what I'm saying? I wish y'all the happiness all in the world. I really mean that.
But how about Rhonda I think Rhonda would be a different woman with a Chad, a man that is as she wants to be a man and do what you want and be stern and say what you want.
He would tell her what to do. He would tell her what to do. The weird thing about this is, it's funny we talking about Rhonda this way. Do you remember in the very beginning, the type of man Belinda said she wanted? It exactly was a Chad.
Yes.
Her issue was, and still is, she actually just came out of marriage when she had a marriage that was the exact same way. She wanted a man to tell her what to do too. The problem for her is now that she's found some of her own agency, she feels like she got to fight for that.
Right.
And she will cause a fight even if there really ain't a fight to be had.
Now, Tara's World, when you say you treat him well, that's basically claiming him over here, okay? When you say I would treat him well means you would, if given the opportunity, you would treat him well.
That is called opening the door, ladies. You just open the door. That is a crack for men to go into. You say, I treat you well, or word, and you wonder why he hanging around. That is called opening the door.
Now, Trey, Christine says sometimes a woman likes a man to raise his voice a time or two.
This is true. I'm glad you were woman enough to admit that. Because other women in here be like, oh no, that's toxic. Masculinity. But that's the type of man they want. They still want a man to be a man, though.
She didn't say where, Trey.
True.
Raise your voice where, and in what capacity, and in what event? Okay.
Everything's situational.
She said a time or two. I understand.
Really, to go to Africa? Really, Josh? Come on. Don't.
She's doing it to crack you up.
I know. Why would you?
She's doing it to crack you up. Will ain't going to no Burning Man. I tell you that much.
Heck nah. What? Listen, you know what, Will? This reunion told me what Will actually thinks about a lot of these people. When Josh was talking and they was talking about some of the things Josh was doing, whatever, you see some weird faces. He was like, boy, you was doing that? Whoa, what? Like, nah, you ain't jacking none of this. Stupid. Mm-mm. He think
You
a
know,
lot of those
Will.
people are dumb.
I might. I don't know. Well, Will did want Brittany. Will. I might, if she wasn't so messy, I might have paired Will up with a more genteel Jalen. You know, because you want someone who has their own thing going on, their own life, their own stuff, but still, a very affirmed woman. I think that maybe I would love to dive in with Will and see what his exes are like.
I'm going to say something that is going to sound controversial, but it's not. Jaden is more like Brittany than you think.
More like what?
Jaden more like Brittany than you think.
Yeah, she just don't cry a lot.
Yes. Actually, she do. We saw that. Remember? Remember we
Yeah,
spat
we did.
and she started crying her carrot tears, and yeah, she was. Yeah, no. She just. I was about to say she is a stage 2 clinker. She's only stage 2, but she shows some of the same personality traits that Brittany did. Her only issue is, at least at that time, Josh was actually into her because she's pretty. She's a good looking woman. She's fine. So, yeah, he's attracted. So it's going to play a little differently. Will is actually very much in control of his attraction level. Like, he Will's the type of guy, he can be attracted to you, but he's not going to show it because he understands how people react to that type of thing. Heck, I do that. Like, I think a lot of women are fine, whatever, but you will always hear my first question is, that's cool. She fine. Now, what's her personality like? Who is she really? That's always my first question. Because I do think people put too much onus on looks these days, even though it's important. But they just like, but she fine though. But she crazy. But she fine though. Bro, you know what? If you want that drama, go ahead. Go ahead. And I saw it during this reunion.
You're fine though, but she's gonna stalk you and come by your apartment several times.
And I know you noticed this during this whole reunion. What's all the talk been about Brittany? Most of the first thing they had to say, oh, she had a revenge body. She looking snatched. She was fine. But they wanted to divert from her issues that she was showing.
But I didn't hear too much of Jalen saying, yeah, she's always at my house.
Nah, because she ain't. But she was going to cover for her girl, though. She was going to cover for her girl. What?
No, Mona Wilson. Here I don't, even though the chat has free range, everybody has, freedom of speech in the chat. I don't question someone's preferences. Mona Wilson, with your question, I don't question people's preferences because sometimes I feel it could be seen as outing them. So I don't engage with it. The other adults in the room, they may engage with it. That is their free will.
And it's also deflection for you. We're trying to explain something that you don't like. So you're trying to put every reason you can against it. Or you know what? It's just because he's whatever. I'm like, really? It's okay for a man not to like a woman, y'all. It's okay for a man not to like a woman.
Not to like that woman.
That particular woman, because she's showing certain personality traits that won't connect with him, and he knows it. I'm okay to do that because I sure will. Like, nah, she off to me. I don't like it like that. Okay,
she working that back. Don't know how to act.
And Brittany, you know what, Brittany? I'll be honest, even for myself, I wasn't that attracted to Brittany in the beginning. It wasn't until like the third episode, I was like, you know what, Brittany kind of cute. I like Brittany, and more, I got more attracted to her myself.
I understand, Mona Wilson. That's okay. We grown in the chat. Yeah. We grown in the chat. Yes, EB. Will was turned off from get go, from the honeymoon
The
when he
honeymoon,
took and
how she,
it
but that was how she acted, not her physically.
right.
It's because how she acted. That's what started to turn him off. At least for that smaller period of time. The attraction was there. He liked her physically, but whatever happened on that honeymoon, he was like, ah.
We still don't know the actual details of what happened, but she flipped out enough for him to say, I'm taking this off the table.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that said that. And if
Yeah.
it was Brittany and then if it was reverse and
For a
Brittany
man
took
to
it
say
off the
it,
table and he was like, yeah, but we could still try, we could still do it, we would be
yeah,
roasting Will. But again,
yeah.
Brittany is the one that's saying, hey, no, don't take it off the table. I'll do better. That was the beginning of begging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yes, she
yeah.
doesn't know her worth. I'm hoping she's gotten there. She said she's in intense therapy. I'm hoping she's gotten there. Definitely hope she's gotten there. She's a
He played
beautiful
some
girl. Absolutely beautiful girl. Just her
good.
expectations of people, all of these people expectations of people, and when they don't actually say it out loud, that's what the show is about. People don't
Yeah,
usually say out loud what they want, what they're looking for. This is what it is. They're concerned about feelings. So even though Brittany wants to know from Will, what do you like? She wants to conform to what he wants.
at least
Will
try
wasn't
to.
falling for that. Yeah, she tried to. Will said, just be yourself, and I will analyze and assess if it's for me or not. Don't
Exactly.
change who you are.
Like you said, wrong. He's too smart for that. The boy is actually intelligent. He's not stupid. Okay, he's just not emotionally expressive.
Right.
That is the best way to describe him. He is not emotionally expressive. That doesn't mean he doesn't have emotions. He's just not. He's just very well much in control of them at all times, and it comes off a certain type of way, and it rubs people the wrong way. I get it.
I would love to hear from him if he's ever had a moment of where he loses reign on his emotions.
I think he did at one time.
I'm sure he did. I'm just saying how he gotten to this point of being usually constantly in control that we have seen.
You know what it is, and I may be reaching. I think he might be a quiet crier.
Oh, yes.
He's a quiet crier,
We saw it,
and
Trey.
yeah, that's why I'm saying this. He's a quiet crier, and there might have been one particular moment where he did express or show that to a woman, and it wasn't taken well.
It backfired.
Yeah,
Because
you
y'all,
know.
again, you see Rhonda, Pat being too emotional
Yes,
for her,
yes,
dried her up.
yes. There are times like there's a reason why you've heard men say, "I don't know if I could trust you or trust her
With
with
my
my emotions."
emotions. Why people
Because
calling him autistic? Because of that. Because he's not emotionally expressive.
exactly, you know, so that's one of that is a lot of men's fear. Like, there's a reason why we say, we want someone to be our peace, or if you're a type of woman that can bring me some type of peace, and I do mean some type of peace. Um,
We don't know. We know his parents divorced
yeah, they divorced. They
when
were
he was
married for a
young.
number of years, though.
Yeah. And he went to his grandparents' marriage is what he looks up to.
Yes. But yeah, he seemed like a quiet crier, and he probably expressed that to a woman at one point in time, and she probably called him sassy and all type of things, and yeah, so
Be a
that calls him.
man.
Yeah, they probably pulled around her on him.
Yes.
They probably pulled around her, and that caused him to shut down completely emotionally. So you're gonna have to work twice as hard to get that emotion out of him. Now, partially, I'm always on the belief you do not make someone else pay for the mistakes of others. Okay, that's how I was raised on that. You don't allow a person to pay for the mistakes of others. But I'm also the person to tell you, you should also learn from your own mistakes as well. That
And
might be the strength.
men like Will don't trust people easily either.
Yep. He won't.
because
You won't trust
something,
him. He won't trust you.
yeah, it's trust on either end.
Yeah,
But here's the thing, it's going to be a higher hill to climb. But if you come to him reasonably and you say, hey, I see you got your wall up, I got my wall up. It depends on who going to climb higher to get over the wall.
exactly.
Yeah, Brittany was
Exactly.
preparing to go on Jeopardy. Yep, she's smart. But again, smarts
When
don't,
us,
they both are very smart people, but emotionally,
yeah. He's well, first of all, Weir has even said he recognizes Britney's intelligence. That was never the issue. She's just too emotional. That was her main issue. She was too emotional. He was too unemotional, and they couldn't meet in the middle. Plain and simple.
and you know what? Sometimes some people who over intellectualize, I'm not saying a lot, some people who over intellectualize, they don't trust themselves. They don't trust themselves. So they always processing. It could be another thing, something added in. They don't trust the final product. So again, yes, Brittany did graduate with honors, and we
Yes,
congratulate her for that. We will see her on Jeopardy now. We will see
her
her.
her intelligence has never been in question. I don't understand why that's coming up. Her intelligence has never been in question. Her,
Yeah,
her emotional regulation is what has been called out here.
yeah,
The same thing with Will. His intelligence shouldn't be in question. The man's an intelligent man. The way he expresses his emotions is. We're talking about the same thing for both parties, and it's just on opposite end of that spectrum. That's it.
yeah.
That's it. If
But
there
yeah,
was a
Will.
few ticks, if they were both a few ticks inward, this might
Yes,
have been a match.
they
But
both
both of
they
them,
they both needed to drop them walls.
yeah, both of
Well,
them.
she dropped the walls for him, but
Eh,
he wasn't going to drop the walls for her because he didn't see. You see,
you
here's
know,
the thing. See how she was saying he had left her not on solid ground and footing? I think we'll probably looked at it and saw that if I open up to her, she will have me like her, not being on an emotional
true.
solid footing.
I guess that's the thing for me. It was. I definitely saw the walls from here. I don't. I don't. I saw false walls being put down, being let down for her. And what I
Mm,
mean by that, when you're dealing with an overly emotional person, that emotional outburst could look like they're putting down their walls when actually
right.
it's a wall itself.
To keep you away.
It's exactly because she was telling on herself when we have pointed out multiple times. You can't. If we said this tonight, you can't have a person tell you as something as simple as y'all been dating and you say, hey, you know what? I love you. And all of a sudden you're questioning the type of love that it is, or you question the love itself. You just invalidated them saying I love you. You completely invalidated it. You know, yeah, and she did that in multiple ways, multiple times. So you tell that to a person, in most cases, that's going to cause them to shut down, completely shut down.
Yeah.
Like I can't share emotions with you. You can't share emotions with that type of person. You just can't. And the
She
same
will.
thing with Will.
Hmm.
You try to be emotional with him, his rebuttal is gonna be cold and reactive. So you're not gonna feel safe with your emotions being shared. You know, they're the same person, just too far apart. A couple of ticks in, they've been perfect.
And you put them together because they're going to rub on each other like sandpaper and wood.
Yeah.
It's for your
Yes.
entertainment purposes only. It's for your entertainment. You know, the thing is, there's a kernel of it where things could possibly work out. Again, we don't see everything about these couples, these people. But again, it definitely, both of them need to go see the lady, not the same lady, but they both need to go see the lady and have a conversation. Everybody on here has a semblance of that. They some people are just more, they have a shorter fuse, a shorter tick tick boom.
Yeah,
But don't think because Will is quiet and whatever or non-expressive that he ain't ticking on the inside.
like my we used to say, like, I have a younger sister, and we used to say, it's always used to be a thing for us. My sister was, what my sister said this once, and she was accurate when she described it to somebody about us. My sister was very short fuse, but the short fuse led to a very small bomb, so it was like firecrackers. She get mad, pop, 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 and it was all over. So her blow up wasn't as explosive. I was the opposite. I was very long fuse. It takes a lot for me to actually get upset, or to me actually be very angry about something or piss me off about something. It's going to take a lot, and it's got to be a buildup of stuff. But when
And
I do blow up,
my toxic trait is to get you there.
I know. But when I do blow up, it's a nuclear reaction. Like boom, mushroom cloud.
Exactly. So that I
But
can clutch my pearls.
Yeah, you may never see it. Because I had to learn it myself. Even though I got a long fuse, I need to cut the fuse before we even get to the bomb. No, I'm cutting it right here and there. Cut it. Because that would be my reaction to you trying to get that reaction. You know what? I'm cutting the fuse. We have met the end of our journey. I appreciate you for taking this journey with me this far. I have enjoyed you.
Please,
But we have to get.
please make sure your tray is in an upright position. We are in for landing.
We're going down, okay? And this ain't airplane. We're going to land safely, okay? This ain't Denzel in flight. We ain't turning upside down on this flight.
But you see, Trey, my toxic trait will be you won't see my hand as a part of getting you to tick tick boom. It ain't gonna be coming directly from me.
I'm watching your friends too. So I've dated your tails.
It ain't my friends, it's gonna be your friends. Your friends and
see,
family.
that's how. See, I've dated your tails. No. I will only date you when you have reached this age and you have learned things. Back in your 20s, I'm running.
My hands are clean. I will be the shoulder you cry on. Oh, they did that to you? Wow. And that's your friend? That's been your friend?
No, let's see, people. Elsie is a wonderful woman. Her qualities are impeccable. You can learn so much from her. But let's just keep it real. If you date her in your 20s, beware. All right? Beware. Now, if you're able to catch her, I say about 35 to 36, 37, you may have a wonderful life before you. Wonderful life. You catch her in them teens in Brownsville, girl, in the 30s. Nah, you done so, bro. Stick a fork in your ass. You done, bro. Take the ride. Have a good time. Run. Okay? Nigga Adrian. Start some run. You're like, yo, it's just what it is.
Oh yeah, that is my trait of who I definitely was. I'm telling you, I was very toxic, very toxic, very I'm still male identified, very male identified, very very. I need to win. This is chess, and you are my pawn, and I need to win.
Now, I was taught by my mom or whatnot, to whatever. Even though I had uncles to teach me how to be a man, but I was taught by my mom to be more female identified, and I used it to my advantage, especially in my teens, early 20s. What?
You did see you are sensitive. You're sensitive. I haven't seen one like you in the wild. That's how you get other folks to behave that way.
The ladies just love coming to talk to me. I would listen. I knew how to listen. Oh, that's how you feeling? Oh, okay. He shouldn't be treating you that way. Nah, that's crazy. Let me tell you what the real problem is. All around, I'm sliding the pants down. That's crazy. It's crazy. It was terrible.
Exactly. I won't engage if I don't see how I will win. And
It's
every
crazy.
so often, I'm making pokes. You know how people see how if your defenses, you kind of test defenses. It's like, okay, we're gonna see how we gonna move. And the minute I figure out, like Will did figure out, and this is how you orbiting, or how I can change your course. That's your motivator. Are you food motivated? Like some people are in the chat. Are you
I am.
emotionally motivated?
I ain't gonna lie. Listen, you cook a good meal for me, you might pull the wool over my eyes for a day or two. Like, oh man, nah, her collard
A
greens
day or
off the
two?
chain. Only
Just
a
enough
day or
for the
two.
meal to pass through your body?
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yes, only a day or two. because I'm spinning the block, but like, you know what? Your greens so good. Hold on. Would you taste my greens, baby? Because I see you getting me. So now I got to get you back. Now I got to get back on.
So you like Brittany. You can't do the leftovers, but so long.
Yeah. No, we talked about it. I could do leftovers 2 or 3 days. If
I
it's
know.
good.
I'm just messing with you.
If it's good, you know.
But you see, I ain't. Again, we ain't cook, because cooking keeps you.
It can.
Cooking keeps people.
It can.
We can't do that. We can't cook and mix baby batter. That's how people get to be killing us.
Don't bring me no pumpkin pie. It better be sweet potato.
No, I don't like pies. So
Pies will work for you. Pie will work for me.
no, not at all. Not at all. And I'm weird. I'm very weird in that don't bring me no pound cake with no sweet glaze on it. I don't. No.
Listen, my oldest son's mother, that woman can cook. That girl can cook. I think
I'm
that's
sure.
that's half the reason why I went back so many damn times. I shouldn't have. She's the only one I double back for to this day.
Will you spend the block? The only one?
The only one I've ever actually spent the block for to this day.
Hey Jay, for you forever. Hey.
Hello.
We almost done though. It's been 3.5 hours. We almost done, Jay. Hope you could slide it back when we done.
Her red velvet cake.
Oh yeah, red velvet cake. Yeah.
Oh,
But is it with the cream cheese?
Yeah. Cream cheese
Now
with the pecans on. Oh my god, pecans.
Here's where I tripped and fell. Because I wasn't looking where I was walking. Okay. What, the no pie, no. I'll eat a good pound cake. No, we like yellow cakes and stuff. It's softer than the pound cake. Because you think of hard dough bread when you do a pound cake. I just don't like the glaze. I'm not into sugary stuff. So definitely, if you are glazing carrots for me, it better be with honey and not, melted sugar. It's a different. No brown sugar. No, this ain't D'Angelo's place. Okay.
Roadshow.
No, this ain't how Mr. L said. When I was in my 20s, here's how I tripped and fell. Because they knew I liked yellow cake, and then they put yellow cake and something together. And very few people put this together. Okay, they did a wonderful peanut butter frosting with a yellow cake. That's how I tripped and fell in my 20s. One good time. How did Mr. El Cid get me? Here's the thing. Mr. El Cid got me because he allowed me to be myself. Let me put it this way. He is surprised and does not diminish me being more, as y'all would say, more male identified masculine. So if I'm home and something's up with my car, I get under the hood and try and diagnose it, and maybe I'll fix it. Something with the garage. He still to this day is like, dang, she fixed the garage door. I fixed it the other day. I rewired the sensors. And he's like, oh my gosh, wow. Then he doesn't dismiss the knowledge I have. So I know how to hang drywall. I know how to fix stuff in the house. So he didn't look at me, and some men do look at you some kind of way. If you're a woman and you do these things, they say, oh, you trying to challenge a man. You trying to be the man. But he didn't.
I see that.
He didn't. He's like, oh.
I've always appreciated it.
Right. You know how to hang drywall? Let's go to the rental place. I gotta hang some drywall. Then too, he tested me. She say she know drywall. Let's see she know how to hang drywall. And he saw and he's like, oh, you wasn't lying. I told him I have learned when I worked for a place that built houses, I have learned from the foundation all the way to the roof. From the
Yeah.
foundation all the way up to the roof. I know I can't stand drywall and I can't stand roof trusses. Don't ask me to help you with either one of those. Can't do that. What? How do you find time for all that? Well, I'm the only one who parks in the garage, so I had to find time to fix that.
Yeah.
It was only 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Members remind me. I'll tell you all my schedule and how I sleep and wake up and do these things and spend hours and all that. Members remind me on Member Monday. I'll tell y'all how I do those things and where I find the time for all of that and find time for work and all that stuff.
I don't think it's about finding time. It's about whatever interests you have, and you're gonna put time into. It's what it is. No matter what it is. If it's something you like, you're gonna put your time into it. Or you're gonna find some time to put into it. So
Right.
mine was opposite. I learned, my dad was a mechanic, so I went outside and learned how to work on cars and stuff like that. That's why I'm still in the cars today. But my mom, she made an effort to say, hey, you're gonna be, no sir, you're gonna be self-sufficient. You know what I'm saying? So I learned how to cook, I learned how to clean, I learned how to hang curtains, I learned how to wash clothes effectively or whatever. Like, nah, you're gonna learn everything.
What I refuse to do is raise mama's boys. By the time my eldest was 10, he knew how to wash his own clothes.
I was doing that, but I was 8. Like, take the clothes, you know how to do it.
The youngest one too, at 8. Because I said because my oldest was a little thickums. When you get to grown man sizes, you got to do grown man stuff, which is wash your own clothes.
It was weird. You know what else? It was weird for me because growing up, I had, especially my mom and dad's side, all of the women in my family were very successful in their own right. Well, they had jobs, careers, stuff like that. There was really no housewives or anything. I didn't really see that until I kind of got in the world, whatever. But they were all in their marriages. Most of them are looking at 40-year marriages now. So it's like, then all of the husbands, they were men. They worked, took care of the bills, this and that third, led the household. So when I was growing up, that was my examples. So you can imagine it's a little weird to me. You start getting out on your own, and I'm like, well, where are these women at? What? Like this? I'm like, what's? I'm used to. I am used. I hate to use this term. I think we use this term too loose, whatever. But I am used to very successful alpha women, this and that and third. Yeah, and I still knew how to be an alpha man. It was
Trey, if we think we could, the strong ladies such as ourselves, we know if we could take you in a fight, we like Rhonda, we gonna drive like the desert.
True. But I guess that's also why, like I said, I had my uncles and stuff look at, there weren't no pushovers. Like they led their household. I thought it was normal. Like growing up, I really thought it was normal. Like, no, you the man in the house, whatever, but that doesn't mean your wife is not valued or she has her own thing going on. I thought that was normal. So it was weird getting out there on my own. I'm like, what is going on? What's all this chaos out here? What is this? Yeah. All this back, the men and the women. It made no sense to me for a long time. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, my grandfather knew all those things, Trey. He knew how to even sew the curtains. He knew how to reupholster a couch. Yeah. And you did not question whether he was a grown man.
I used to watch my mama sew because she was a very good seamstress. I used to watch her sew, and I would just ask questions. If I had to, I can go out and get a sewing machine right now and sew some clothes up.
Right. But what my uncles were? Excellent dancers. Because why? The ladies love to dance, and you can hold on to a lady longer if you had her on the dance floor. They were players.
True.
They were players. Not all of them, but again, to attract the ladies, they knew if you could dance and cut a rug, you in.
Cut a rug. That's how we say that.
Hey, that's what they called it, cut a rug. I have an uncle who used to be a wedding crasher. I've told you all about him. He can go into a ballroom right now and you call out any dance step and he know foxtrot two step, he knows, and he can still do it, and he is above 70. He could cut a rug. So again, motivation. And when the ladies see you could cut a rug and everything, and you know how to hold her, as he said, how you know how to hold her and handle her, you in. But again, you have to find the person's motivation. Once you know that person's motivation, basically the story is told.
I need to get your grandpa. That's crazy.
Grandpa is deceased. Both of my grandmother's husband. My grandmother was, till end do us part. She had 2 successful ones, one for 30-some years, one for 17. So again, and y'all can make the jokes. Y'all can make the jokes if you want, but she knew
how to keep them. What's the joke?
The joke could be, did she end them? Trey, come on now. Is she a black widow? The jokes could happen. The jokes could happen.
She wore them men died so happy.
Right. She was their caretaker for their last days, and the second husband for over a year she was his caretaker. Again, when she's like, oh, why did this happen to me? I said, maybe that's your calling to be, his comfort in his last moments. He knows he is taken care of and loved. That's it.
Wow.
Hey, maybe that is your calling. But those were men that would do anything for her. So when it came time to reciprocate, not a problem. But yes, definitely grandpa. Yeah, my uncle, the uncle who knows how to dance, he's single. If y'all if you dare. Okay, if you dare. I ain't seen a lion tamer able to tame that lion yet.
Listen, I got a single uncle that sounds pretty similar, and he's the only male in the family my mom's side of the family that never got married. He's the only one. All the siblings, he's the only one that never got married.
Oh, he got married.
Just a bachelor.
He got married. He got married, and he's the one with the most amount of kids. He loved being married.
Well, my uncle only got one grown daughter, so eligible.
Speaking of that, y'all, since we're talking about uncles, grandfathers, for our watch party tomorrow, I'm going to be setting up watch parties. There's going to be some for the general public, but it's mainly going to be a member benefit. I'm going to do the setup for the watch parties. I already have the instructions on the posts on this channel. We're going to watch the seniors pop the balloon, okay? We are going to do a watch party together of the seniors pop the balloon. It's going to be on Teleparty. There's already a video instruction to set up Teleparty. And tomorrow I will drop the link about an hour or so before, about 7 o'clock. I'm going to drop the link for us to watch the seniors on Pop the Balloon, because they are a riot.
Wait, for who's doing this?
I'm doing this for Teleparty.
No, for the Pop the Balloon. Who's on?
Oh, it's another channel. They have the pink heart balloons.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, is it all that channel?
No, it's not. It's not. There's Pop the Balloons all over.
I don't mess with them. I only do all that.
Some of them are fun. Some of them are fun, Trey.
I don't know. I just feel bad because they took all that idea.
No. Okay, and y'all, we will be back to a regularly scheduled program after this. Arlette took it from the people in Africa. Arlette is not the original. So don't. And the people in Africa, the African one is the original Pop the Balloon.
Okay.
And they allowed, and they were like, hey, everybody can do, they are okay with you even using their footage to do recaps and reviews. So yes.
That might. I always felt that it might have came from her husband. Actually,
You thought it came from husband? Maybe the husband has connection to the folks over there. I believe they're in Ghana. I'm not sure, but they are the originals. That's why everybody was up in arms with what has happened, where now you have to profit share if you do reviews of our Let's Pop the Balloon. Everybody's like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're going to start off doing the older version. What we are doing is testing to make sure when we do have watch parties that we can certainly, be, have everything set up. So we're going to start with YouTube. It has multiple platforms you can watch, but you also have to have the same platform that I have access to for this watch party. Okay. So when I do YouTube, you, as you have here, have YouTube. When I do Netflix, you also have to have your own access to Netflix because that is how you get by with the not having copyright infringement. Okay. Everybody has to have their own access. And what I want us to get to, because Trey, you know what we like. You know what we like. We like our Dance of the Dragons. Okay. I would love for the few that have access to HBO that we can watch a Dance of the Dragons together in a watch party. Okay. That's what I'd like us to get to. So we can watch different things on different platforms, but I will mainly be doing YouTube and Netflix because that's what everyone has. Most people have access to. Okay. So we're going to start the test off with the Seniors Pop the Balloon. I will drop the link in my post and on the live that I'm going to do to help y'all get into Teleparty. Okay. To go to Africa. We're going to get to that one too. So definitely, y'all, I want to do watch parties where we watch, we talk, and y'all can have a good old time in the comments in the chat. And that will be an additional added benefit to membership. I do not watch Reasonable Doubt. I got my hands full with these shows and trying to get these watch parties together. I know it's a good show, but I'm waiting on Love is Blind Italy to start on December 1st. I'm also waiting on P-Valley to come back. I haven't done P-Valley with y'all, but we could do watch parties of P-Valley. We could do the first and last episode. So again, there's a lot of things that I want us to be able to watch together that we can actually see it on the screen and not have to be saying, hey, pause here, pause there. We are on the same thing. It's basically in this party, you're giving me permission to control the flow of your YouTube or the flow of your TV. That's all it is. So when I pause it, it pauses for you too. That's all it is. But yes, there will be watch parties. Yes, the South African, all the South Africans are funny. I can't wait for the Ultimatum South Africa Part 2, Season 2 to come, but we haven't heard anything. But Trey, is there anything else you want to do? Because we're almost up to 4 hours about these folks. Anything else you want to talk about with Married at First Sight? We having a good time.
Yeah, great time. I think we pretty much cover all of it, ins and outs. I don't know. Do we know what city that's what's going to be into?
It's Teleparty. Teleparty, Teleparty. You will see it in my post, Tyra's World. I have the post, and I also posted a link with the instructions on how to download Teleparty, and it's basically an extension of Chrome or Edge. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, like I asked, do we know what season? Do we know what city is going to be in that season? Yeah.
No, we do not know what city. They just showed us the a little bit of the people, and they kind of blurred out their faces. We saw that, but definitely they did not.
Heads, a chin here. Okay, all right.
Right, exactly. But it did sound like Jalen's voice, one of them, but I doubt it'll be Jalen. I'll be pissed if it is. But they need to bring back Keisha Knight Pullum and the after show.
This season was, God, I'm on the fence about it.
She says Seattle.
Oh, okay. Okay. This season was honestly, it was a hit and a miss for me. It started out, like I said, I'm iffy on the format. I'm not mad at it. I still think this type of show has to be more long form or more episodes. This type of show, the way it was originally set up, it has to be a little bit longer form. I'm okay. I'm okay with the multiple episode drops, but its biggest flaw was not enough episodes. It just wasn't enough episodes. This really wasn't. And they left
Yeah.
a lot. They left a lot on the cutting room floor. And they
Yeah,
proved
they're trying to be Love is Blind and they're not. They need
it shouldn't be.
we don't have a problem if y'all are 20 episodes.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with the 20 episodes. I know some people did. They felt like it drugged out, whatever. But the type of show this is built up to be, this is marriages. It should be a little drugged out. We got to get to know these couples and how they're going to fit together. You have to. But
Guess
you know,
what? Maths UK is 36 episodes that we just did. Maths
30
Australia is 30 something episodes.
Yeah.
So these folks here in the US, we can handle it.
Yeah. I never had issue with the length of season. I've never had issue with that. I know some people did. Wasn't me.
I do.
Never did.
I don't want it to be 6 months, Trey. I don't want it to be 6 months. But you can get me for a good solid 2 months and you drop in 3 episodes or 4 episodes a week, 3 episodes a week. And you get me for 8 weeks.
But let's be real. The only reason why that truly is because everything is so microwavable. We're watching different shows at the same time. So that's the only reason why people are like, oh God, because you feel like it's too much to watch. But honestly, the way they got it, when you have batch episode drops like this, you're only increasing the number of episodes to watch for all these different shows.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get to the point where you see they try not to do it, but it's going to get to the point where Love is Blind season is going to be out at the same time as a math season. And you doing multiple episode drops for Love is Blind, that's 3 or 4 at a time. And for here, they're trying to do 2 to 3. Are people going to be able to watch 5 episodes in one day? In one drop? They're going to try to.
Well, they've done it to me. They have had I think Mexico and Germany at the same time.
And
Love is Blind on Netflix.
That was, because you used to talk about that. It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot for me to do those weeks. I had to say, hey, y'all need to give me some time. And we did it too with Brazil and France. They did it to me with Brazil and France. And everybody else was chill because they wasn't covering Brazil.
Exactly. And that's the fear that I think they're going to try to fall into. Most people, they just ain't going to watch it because it's too much. It's just not going to. So that's why I was like, I got to see what the ratings look like on this. I think it's going to do well for this season because everybody's tuning in. Peacock, new network, they see what it looked like. I bet you it fell off towards the season's end here.
I bet it did. I bet it did. But y'all, it has been wonderful.
Oh, I better say, and the complaints are still the same. If you notice, what people talk about, all the complaints are still the same thing.
Yeah, we're about to sign out, y'all.
Yeah,
we're about to sign out. But yes, yes, they will have another one on Peacock, definitely. But Trey, tell the people where they can find you.
Well, you can find me in the streets. No, I ain't in the streets like that. You can find me right now on Elsa's channel, trying to support her whenever show she has, and also in the chat. I'm the chat cat daddy. Listen, I'll be in there. I'll talk to y'all. We have a great conversation, have good times, laugh back and forth. And at times, whatever I'm posting on Instagram, my meal selection, Thanksgiving is coming. I might be a little more involved with that. You might even get to see a little bit of the process of me cooking. Who knows? We see how I feel about it.
Oh, we get into your science lab. Okay, chef.
You see the picture go up my seasoning.
Well, tomorrow, y'all, we will have unsolicited advice at 5:05. I believe it's this guy, his coworker rejected his advances at the office, so We're going to talk about that in unsolicited advice, but there are four items that I bring in from the internet asking for advice. And then, as I said, 8 o'clock in the evening, there will be a live here helping those to come over to Teleparty so we can set up. So when I say party over here, we ready for a party over here. Then, of course, Monday night, member Monday is at 8 p.m. Tuesday, I will be doing a formal recap and review of Ready to Love. Of course, y'all know we watch it live together at 9 p.m. On Fridays. And then Fridays, we have our unscripted, where you, the audience, tell me what we're going to talk about. This is your show. We're going to talk about what you want to talk about. And I usually put a post up. I'm going to be here on Friday. You know, y'all, I'm going to be here every day except Wednesday, because I figure Wednesday evening y'all are getting stuff prepared for your families. But I may throw a alley-oop to y'all on Wednesday night. Those of you who want to hang out on Wednesday because you're sick and tired of the family because you're going to spend all day Thursday with them. But Thursday, y'all, I of course will not be live. I'll be chilling. I'll probably be dropping shorts. And as the members know, sometimes I drop 30 shorts in a day. I'm sorry. But y'all, thank you so much for joining us. We will see what we're going to be up to. If not next week, the following week, because you know we have Love is Blind Italy coming. So if we ain't back next Saturday at 5 p.m. EST, because ain't no shows on really, we definitely going to be back the first Saturday in December, because Love is Blind Italy hits on that Monday, December 1st. Okay? So y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. Hard work. Yeah. Hey, this is my second job, but I love it here. So it ain't work. It ain't work if you love it. It ain't tricking if you got it. But y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. And as I always say, I'll see you on the next one.